soul. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generations, the People's Breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights, Radio Generation.
A very good morning to you. This is Radio Generation. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. This indeed is the People's Breakfast. The time right now is 1 minute past 6 o'clock. And kama kawa kama K tukunaya Patricia Waya. Patricia, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Uko salama?
Kabisa nashukuru. Yeah, quite okay.
Mimi niko salama pia?
Yeah.
I mean, I thank the Lord. I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, so I thank Jesus for waking me up this morning.
Okay.
Yeah. Who do you thank?
Of course, God. Yeah,
Are you a Christian?
We do appreciate
Nowadays,
God.
I don't like assuming. You appreciate God,
Yes,
right?
yes. Of course, I'm a Christian, and I do appreciate the fact that Jesus Christ is my Savior.
Amen to that. Okay. And for you listening to me, whether you worship God, you worship Allah, whoever and whatever you worship, we hope that you have thanked him or it this particular morning, or even her this particular morning for giving you life. Now, it's time for us to get into that thing that we like calling the celebration of the day that we have been given by the UN, or the day we have been given by some random person somewhere. What are we celebrating today?
Well, today, as per United Nations, we are observing International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism.
Okay.
Yes, according to United States, today the world is observing International Day of Remembrance and Tribute to the Victims of Terrorism.
United States or United Nations?
United Nations. I said United States.
Mara ya kwanza umesema nations, then ukasema states.
Okay. Just a little bit of confusion, yeah.
Okay, so we are celebrating people victims of terrorism attacks?
Yeah, we have victims. We have the survivors. In one way or another, if there is a terrorism act, you must be somehow you'll be affected either directly or indirectly.
Hapa Kenya huwa tuna celebrate na tunakumbuka rather.
Just the other day we were observing that day.
Yes.
And of course we had a guest here from the National Counterterrorism
Center.
Yes, Center. And we did talk a lot of things about terrorism, and we saw how this ideology is usually spread.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and he mentioned a couple of things, but also because I have a couple of Muslim friends also, I asked them, how do we have people who are radicalized and they end up becoming extremists? And I asked him which part of the Quran or which part of the Islamic faith is used to radicalize them. And he was just saying that people are, for lack of a better word, and I'm paraphrasing, I'm not using the exact words that he used, but he was saying that people are duped into thinking about the afterlife, and they are told, for example, ukiwa hapa hivi duniani nini umefanya maana inakuguarantee your place in heaven. Yeah, so the only way you will guarantee yourself that place is if you do what? If you do that thing that they like calling jihad. And he told me that the translation of jihad in the Holy Book is not necessarily what is taught by extremists. And he said that jihad nile, first of all, you have that spiritual war within yourself, and you become a better
You
better
must
Muslim.
win first that war inside
you. Yes. But now in the extremist teachings, they're told you win that war by fighting non-believers. And nikashanga, but still mtu atoanga nguvu wapi ya kwenda kujilipua, mtu atoa nguvu wapi ya kushika bunduki na kwenda kulipua wengine, and so on and so forth. But anyway,
basically I think using they do use religion.
Yes, they do.
And also some other times, of course, they are going to use like those people who are vulnerable. Yeah, the minority. People will just come and tell you, see, your country cannot provide you with jobs. Look at the rate of especially now for the young people.
Your government is corrupt.
Your government is so corrupt, it cannot provide you with jobs. So you need to
fight them.
Yeah, and when you cross over to this other side, this is what we are offering you. This and this and this.
Yeah. So there's a lot of, and perhaps we shall have a day here to just sit down and talk about this. I hope you write these days down, Yesterday tulikuwa tunauliza na city. Hizi siku tutazikumbuka zote kweli? All right, so we're done with the day.
Yes.
Trade inatupeleka wapi leo?
Well, the train also taking us to Britain also.
United Kingdom.
Yes.
All right. So what does the United Kingdom have to offer
To
us?
this one, Alain de Botton, who said, a good half of the art of living is resilience. Yes, a good half of the art of living is resilience. I'm a resilience.
Resilience.
Yes. You have the ability to bounce back after something has happened to you. That ability to bounce back is quite important in life, and you realize that most of the time in your life you will face a lot. Yeah, you will come through situations that will require you to have that resilience. You will require to bounce back for you to continue with life.
I recently lost a friend. Actually, 2 days ago. I think it was on Tuesday or on Monday, somewhere thereabout. So, this is what happened to this particular friend. She lost. She had started abusing alcohol, unfortunately. But by the time she started abusing that alcohol, she had already given up on life. She really tried, but she lost that resilience you were talking about, and she gave herself to alcohol abuse, and eventually alcohol, the whatever, her organs literally gave in. Yes, they failed, and sasa tunamwomboleza. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because sometimes life can be very difficult. You know, there's resilience in, for example, looking for a job. There's resilience in even when you get that job, just working through that job. Sometimes you probably work in a toxic environment.
Yes.
But you are resilient. You're like, no matter what, hata wakiniambia nini mimi nitafanya. And then of course we have toxic relationships where you're trying to be resilient in that relationship. You every day you wake up, you're fighting it, but you're like, you know what, let's see where this is going. Lakini kuna watu hawana hiyo nguvu. Tunaitanga nguvu huko mtaani.
Hiyo ni nguvu, hiyo ni power.
Kuna mtu anamkanga anasema, ai wase mimi sina nguvu. Kwenda kwa hiyo ofisi tena, ai nikapatana na Patricia, ai wacha ikae bana.
They throw in the towel.
Yes, and you find people quitting. Gen Zs wanasemekana hawana resilience ya job market, hawana resilience ya relationship.
Well, and again you see resilience also is developed with time also.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
With time, okay, depending with your background, where you come from, like how have you been approaching to what has been your approach to issues, different issues, to different difficulties in life. So it depends. So that resilience is something that is created over time, developed over time. So we kama ni mtu wa kugive up haraka, of course you lack that.
It's a wrap.
Yes. Yeah. So
okay. So again, maybe you can just read for us that a quote once more, so we can keep it in mind and remember it as we move forward.
Basically, this is what it says, that half of your life, of course, the half of the heart of living is resilience. What would you do?
Ukunaweza kuwa na vitu zingine, virtues, principles, maombi, lakini bila resilience, it's over.
Yeah, it will be difficult. So whatever situation you are in, outside there,
yes,
even as a country, we need resilience.
We do.
Yes.
We do. All right. So I hope that you have tuned in to our multiple channels. That is on YouTube, for instance. You go check out Radio Generation Kenya. That's where we are at. And I hope you guys are subscribing. So far we are at 3.64K subs. Yes. So please, we need to get that to 20,000 at the very least. Before when? Before Mashujaa Day?
Yes.
Before Mashujaa Day.
Yeah, do not deny us that opportunity.
Tafadhali.
Please.
20,000 subscribers. 3.64K, not bad. We've been on air now for 3 months. So congrats to every single one of you who's subscribed and who's supported. Also follow us on X at Radio Gen KE. That's where you'll find us on formerly Twitter, right? It is also our handle on Instagram, Radio Gen KE. It is also our handle on TikTok, at Radio Gen KE. Facebook, it is Radio Generation Kenya.
Yeah.
That is where you'll find us. Please follow, subscribe, ask other people to do the same, share, comment, do whatever it is that you'll need to do, because we need to get the People's Breakfast and the entire station actually with the home of hard truths and bold insights.
Siki kama wanaona maji yangu hapa. Yeah, it's branded
Radio Generation.
Radio Generation.
Yes.
You see this wave, so amazing, yeah. Yes.
Right, yeah. So on Twitter also, or rather on X, I keep calling it X, Twitter sijui what, but also huko mtufuate sawa sawa. Tunataka mkue tutengeneze genge kubwa tena sana. Alright, so you can also find us on our website, that is rgk.co.ke. That is rgk.co.ke. We're also live there, by the way. We're also live, so tafadhali get on there, follow, or rather subscribe to our channel, our website as well, so that you can be getting updates of the top stories. For instance, we're going to be going through those top stories just right now. Chan apparently has done something to us, or is it CAF? So there's a blow to Kenyans as CAF fails to restore full capacity status at Kasarani. Let's read that story. So imesemekana hapa hivi, Kenyans hoping to fill Kasarani Stadium to full capacity will have to wait a little longer after the Confederation of African Football maintained partial closure sanctions on the venue. The restrictions follow security breaches during two Harambee Stars preliminary matches in the African Nations Championships, and CAF has yet to respond to an appeal by the Football Kenya Federation seeking to increase stadium capacity from 60% to full. Speaking at Kasarani Stadium on Wednesday, Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya expressed confidence that CAF may revise its decision, noting the positive conduct of fans during Harambee Stars' last group game against Zambia. Ilibidi manzi wafanye hivi, tulitandikwa fine ya 2.5 million pia kwa sababu ya the fracas and the chaos that was witnessed during those two matches that they were talking about.
In addition to the reduction of the capacity, to
60%. So that means that only 27,000 people will be allowed into the stadium. And sometimes when ukikosea, you have to accept the consequences. Yes, we can appeal. It is our right to appeal, but also it is within CAF's parameters to say no and to continue with this particular ban until they decide to either lift it or maintain it till the very end, actually.
No, you guys, they just need to reconsider that appeal that Kenyans are making to them. Yeah, and also restore those, give us that capacity back, and also of course fine amwezi regeshewa pesa hiyo ishaenda. So but for the rest of the matches they should just allow us, because they have seen from the last match, see how Kenyans conducted themselves. No,
Patricia, you know why I'm saying that? They shouldn't actually until Chan yote ishe, because of this very simple reason. We are hoping that in future we shall host other matches, other tournaments. We are hoping, we shall host AFCON at one point, and God willing, in the not so distant future, we might even be able to host the World Cup. Okay, and Patricia, some lessons have got to be learnt, and those lessons are usually hard.
But we learn.
Patricia,
we know better as Kenyans. So far, we know better.
Patricia,
yes,
I can assure you. If they restore it right now, watu watasema kumbe kitu kwanga rahisi ku restore hivyo. Kumbe ni kwenda tu kusema tu pole alafu anarudisha.
That's Kenyans for you.
Yes, we need to know that choices have got consequences. Something Obama said kitambo sana. We need to know, because Patricia, unfortunately, we never learn. And the only way we can learn na stick kwa akili ni kama tu mtoto. Utampatia warning ya kwanza, warning, lakini ya tatu maana kiboko lazima. Ndiye akumbuke kukidhoka kiboko inakuanga.
Well, it's only that as a country, or the government did not foresee this. Yeah, as the FKF, they did not foresee what was about to happen. But again, also you also need to look at what was happening in the country before.
Are we talking about maandamano? Gen Z protests?
These things are interrelated.
It's true.
Yeah, because these things are just interrelated. You can always see, like, what is the reaction of people when we do this and this. And you can already foretell that whatever we are about to do, something of this nature might happen. Of course, I know they did have a lot of security officers in place there, but you remember they were overwhelmed. But my only problem was after the first match, we saw what happened. So I didn't understand why during the second match they were not that much prepared for what was about to happen.
And this is actually a very small, in my opinion, punishment 2.5 million
ni kidogo sana.
Alafu sijui 27,000 fans only allowed in the pitch, in the field, or in the stadium. It's a small fine. Number one, maybe ingekuwa pesa mingi zaidi. And then number two, perhaps they would have even said no more games.
No more, yeah.
Exactly. Especially the Kenyan games. Where Kenya is playing, itabidi maybe mwende mkacheza Uganda ama Tanzania. That is how bad the fine would have been. Or the punishment would have been.
Well, I
and to nyang'anya even the hosting rights completely. As a matter of fact, no more games in Kenya. Games zingine zote zimepelekwa Tanzania and Uganda.
And that of course would be so bad for us.
Exactly. So the punishment would have been way harsher, for lack of a better word.
So like Kenyans, I know we've learned our lesson.
We haven't.
We now know better. No. I think Kenyans they know better, because after, imagine,
our lesson.
Do you know, after the campaign that the government did, you know, they went around, of course, telling Kenyans that it is not a must that we go there. And you remember, I also said here, it is not a must that all of us go to Kasarani. You can watch that match from home. Like the last match, I also watched it from the house. You see. So that act by the government also to go and talk to Kenyans outside, and of course they did have places where these matches were being watched.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is a step, and therefore I feel Kenyans have learned something.
They have learned something, but they haven't learned the full lesson yet. Na nimekwambia, I am always a person who advocates for tough action, tough love.
Okay.
So that next time tukiambiwa tuna host AFCON, tukiambiwa now tuko na rights za ku host AFCON for example, my friend, mnatulia. Mnafika pale in good time. Kama mliambiwa kuna mabango, mbebi mabango ya politics, mkiambiwa pale uniform inakaa hivi, mnafika mkiwa na uniform inakaa hivi. Kama hakuna kelele, hakuna chance za politics, ni kumaanisha hakuna chance za politics pale ndani. At the end of the day, lessons have got to be learned, and this is the only way.
I feel that Kenyans still need a second chance. Yeah, okay, it's not a must that it be this tough. Yeah, that is
Mojabi saa zingine nasemaga kina mama mnakuanga very soft. Mnakuanga very soft in terms of even administering discipline. You see, us men, when we deliver this, we rarely do it, but when we deliver
you do it.
My friend, inafikanga
in its full capacity. But again, Mungala, we also need to appreciate the fact that as a country, you know, that's the reason why we always need that political stability. Any country where there's no that political stability, so many things get affected. Talk of investments, talk of business, talk of just the general life, talk of just everything. So this is something, of course, you need to understand that Kenyans hata wame behave kidogo.
Nikwambie kitu kimoja. Nikujua, and I like using family setups as an analogy, right? Ukikosana na bwana yako na kuna wageni wanakuja Saturday, ndio mmekosana. Sasa ni wageni wa bwana yako kwa mfano. Sasa utakuja display makasiriko yako mbele yao.
Not unless you are a good actor, people can feel. So if you have sharp guests, they can always feel there's something in a mess.
This is what you usually do. You put on your best behavior.
Of course you do.
You apply something called emotional intelligence and any other kind of intelligence, okay? Wageni wamekuja, wageni have got nothing to do with
whatever
maybe your husband cheated on you. These people, unless they're the ones he's cheating with, have got nothing to do with that problem. You host watu wako ama watu wake, be the good wife that you are. Maliza wageni waende, then sort out your issues. What am I saying? Now, because we have issues with our government, it doesn't mean that now we are hosting Morocco, we are hosting Madagascar and many other teams here. It doesn't mean that now we start showing them our bad behavior just because our husband or our wife has got issues.
It happens unconsciously. Sometimes it happens unconsciously because you remember people were still high on emotions. Like people were mad at what was happening in the country.
We do not condone bad behavior. But before we leave,
my message is Kenyans have learned a thing. So watupatie nafasi next match sisi tuingie Kasarani full capacity. We celebrate, tusherehekee pia ndugu zetu wakicheza.
Kenya versus Madagascar CHAN quarter final tickets crash online portal. I don't know if you saw this one. It's on our rgk.co.ke website. The online ticketing system for the 2024 African Nations Championships quarterfinals between Kenya and Madagascar collapsed shortly after sales began, leaving many fans stranded. The tickets sold through the MOOC platform went live at noon on Tuesday, but the site was quickly overwhelmed and crashed. Kenya will face Madagascar on Friday, that is tomorrow, at 5 p.m. at the Moi International Sports Center in Kasarani. Thousands of supporters hoping to secure their seats were unable to complete purchases, with the breakdown blamed on overwhelming demand. Remember, only 27,000 of us are allowed where? In the stadium. What are you seeing on your side of the...
Yeah, there's a story here about your president. You know, you people, asikianga kwamba ni nabii.
Did you just say ati your president?
Yes, your president, you.
He's not yours.
You.
What did he say?
It's your president. So, unasikia kwamba nabii most of the time huwa apokelewi vizuri nyumbani.
Ndio.
But do you know something that Ruto receives standing ovation in Yokohama, calls for global cooperation. Jue pia kule nje, he's being recognized for the work that he's doing. Yeah, and people are appreciating him. But you, that's the reason why I said you're president. But you,
he's my president.
So, okay, this is what the story says. President William Ruto received a standing ovation on Wednesday after addressing the Yokohama City Council Assembly, where he emphasized on the need of global cooperation to tackle pressing challenges facing humanity. In his remarks, Ruto highlighted the growing interdependence of nations in responding to crises such as pandemics, climate change, food insecurity, and the pursuit of peace. Humanity has always thrived through cooperation in today's interconnected world, President Ruto said, earning an applause from the assembly.
So basically, this is a county assembly.
Yes.
Ani ma MCA. No, siwa tukani ama siwa belittle. Sisemi ya kwamba ati si watu wa maana. I'm just confirming that this is a city council assembly. That means it's a county assembly, like equivalent of what we have here in Kenya. Ma MCA, sindio? Aya. Unajua, sijui kama, again, family analogy. I will kill you with wisdom one of these fine days.
Okay, kill me.
You see, when a husband is battering his wife,
yeah,
kila siku mnasikianga nduru ikitoka huko. Lakini huyu jamaa akikuja hapa sokoni anakuanga mabese na kila mtu. Mama mboga ako hapo, baba boy. Leo niko na ile mayai yako. Baba boy, nyanya za leo ni zile poa. Hata mtu wa mtura, baba boy ni aje, mtunguyas, utakula mtura ya ngapi? Unacheki. In the marketplace, he's a very good person. Why? Because he exchanges money with these people. Akienda pale kwa duka, hata shopkeeper anamwambia, buda, leo ile mkate yako unapendanga ndio hapa hivi ile soft.
But when he goes back,
ngoja sijamaliza, hata akifika kwa butchery, mtu wa butchery yako, baba boy, nikukatia kagapi leo? Unaona kavinye kameiva kakona mafuta. Lakini akifika kwa nyumba, watoto wanamuogopa. Mama anafanya nini? Anajificha jikoni ama bedroom ama wherever. What am I saying? That just because you have received a standing ovation out there, it doesn't necessarily mean that in here things are okay. And that is the reality on the ground. Okay, that is the reality on the ground. But look at the things that is talking about. Yes. Look at the things that is pushing for. Right. Yeah. The connection of different countries. Different continents, yes, different people, and that is awesome, in order to push for things that matter to all humanity. We are talking of peace. Yes, we are talking of the issues of climate change. Yes. Don't you know that there are people who, those wife batterers I was talking about, they have a brilliant outside ideas. They have brilliant ideas. They will tell you the way we can build a road between here and Syokimau, a flyover. Gari zinapita hapo at 100 kilometers per hour, zinafika in Syokimau in 2 minutes. That's a brilliant idea, and we'll clap for it, by the way. Kuna mtu atasema we need to provide nets, mosquito nets, for all the women on Ngong Road, and we shall clap. Watu wa Ngong Road wataclap. Mikono nasema yes, that is exactly what we need. But pale nyumbani watu wanamwangalia zile za kifadhili tutandika jana usiku.
But like yesterday, we had a discussion here, and we said that
Yes.
most of these things that we countries are doing, it's not that people are not seeing. Actually, it was about the story of Burkina Faso.
Yes.
Yeah, we said that most of the things that countries are doing, you cannot keep them a secret. I mean, in this era of technology, advanced technology, actually, there are some things, of course, you cannot hide. It's not that the world is not seeing what is happening in our country.
And,
they are seeing. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
you will appreciate that at a country yet we go better than some other countries. I will tell you for a fact.
For sure. I'm not saying that we are in such a bad state that we cannot, breathe in and breathe out. But one thing you need to know, again, going back to the family analogy, si ati neighbors hawajuangi Patricia wao chapwa kwa nyumba. Wanajua. Lakini wakiamuka asubuhi, hata wakipatana naye hapo kianika nguo with a black eye, they will look at you and ignore that black eye and be like, sasa uko poa? Aya, sawa. Yet they can clearly see that your lip is busted and it's bleeding. They can see you're missing a tooth. And specifically, if we can just mention something about Asian countries, our Asian brothers and sisters, sometimes they seldom raise questions or fingers or raise issues concerning domestic violence. And by domestic violence, I mean they don't like meddling in other countries' issues. Okay? Wewe umeiona ambassador wa Japan hapa akiongea akisema kitu yote ati Gen Z protest, sijui a lot of people are dying. Umeona? Kama ameongea sijaiona.
Well, basically, if you are representing a country, you're in another country, it's usually not even so wise for you just to be talking.
Manners.
Yeah,
but the US does it.
Always to be pointing fingers at people and talking.
The US does it.
Yeah.
The UK does it. Germany, they do it. Netherlands, kwanza wanakuanga very vocal.
They have a lot of interest in your country.
Exactly.
Yeah, they are working with you.
You want to tell me
so much.
Japan hawana interest hapa?
No. I didn't say that.
Just answer me this question. Japan, China,
they
South
do.
Korea, hawana interest huku?
They do, but yesterday we just discussed here, we said the way these people operate is quite different from these others.
Exactly.
Yes.
They do not like meddling or poking their nose into other countries' businesses. Utatandika bibi yako, hiyo ni shida yako. Au, as long as biashara ile mliagree inafanyika, bwana, you sort out your issues. Umeona India wakisema ati but you guys are, these problems you're facing, they are too serious. Umeona hata unajua ambassador wa India wewe? Tuanzie tu hapo. Unaonanga Russia wakisema kitu ati the people in Kenya are dying. Umeona wakisema kitu? They won't, but the other countries will. The point I'm trying to pass across, Patricia, is Asian countries wanakuanga wametulia, them they mind their own business, because guess what? They also have similar problems back home. Yes. Human rights situations that
every other country
they
has
wouldn't
such.
want to, because wanajua wakiongea pia nyinyi mtawaambia na si nyinyi mnafanyanga kitu fulani, si nyinyi pia mnafanyanga kitu fulani, si nyinyi pia so it's one of those situations whereby.
Well, let me show you something what the president said. The president assured the council that Kenya is committed to collaborating with Japan and the wider international community to confront these challenges and pursue shared opportunities for development. Then there's something that he pointed out to democracy, freedom and the rule of law as shared values that provide a strong foundation for collective action.
All right. Before we get to do traffic, Consolata wa Kwabubi, I hope I'm saying this correctly. Consolata wa Kwabubi sworn in as senator replacing Gloria Oruoba. So now, nominated Senator Consolata wa Kwabubi has officially been sworn in, taking over the women's special seat previously held by Gloria Oruoba. Wakwabubi's appointment comes after her nomination by the ruling UDA party and gazettement by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission (IEBC) on August 15th. Now, the swearing-in ceremony took place on Wednesday, overseen by Senate Speaker Amason Kingi. During the oath, Wakwabubi pledged her commitment to the country and her duties as a member of parliament. Nominated senator has now been officially sworn in, taking over the women's special seat previously held by Gloria Oruoba. Let's go back to that conversation I had a couple of days ago about woman reps.
Yes.
In parliament. Then now we also have a woman special representative in the Senate.
Yes.
How many women do we need to represent women's issues in the country?
As many as possible.
If today you were to be appointed, Patricia Wayua, as a woman rep,
Yes.
or in the Senate as a woman special seat representative, what would be your main agenda in regards to women?
Of course, there's what is described in my job description. There's what I have in my job description.
Forget your JD. Wewe ile passion project yako unasema hii for the remaining two years that I have this seat, I need to ensure that this is done for the women of Kenya.
Okay, because I've never thought of becoming a woman rep.
Patricia,
No, let me just say.
basically what I'm asking is,
that's why I'm saying,
what do you
because I've
expect,
never
Patricia,
thought of becoming
Patricia,
one.
Patricia,
Just listen what I'm
Patricia,
saying.
No. I
Okay.
want to put it into context here.
Yes.
I mean, I want also just to sort of like mirror this question. What would you expect your woman rep or a Senate representative for women to do for you?
Well, of course, it's just a matter of, because you said a matter of issues to do with women, women and children.
In terms of legislature, and in terms of just delivery of that particular situation for you women. I don't know what it is. You tell me what it is.
Of course, you know, the issue of the 2/3 gender rule, of course, it's what really sits in every woman's mind when they are in this position. Because we are looking at,
forget the rule.
No, we are looking at,
Patricia, I'm just asking,
Yes.
what would you like delivered for you as a woman, whether by 55,000 women in the Senate or 2,000 women out here? What
that's
would you
why
like?
I'm saying, of course, I would be, first of all, I would ensure that I'm pushing women. You know, a lot of women, we are not yet there. A lot of women fear these seats. Let me tell you, first of all, a lot of women do fear these seats.
Patricia,
So first of all, my responsibility, of course, is
Patricia,
to
I don't need an
move
essay.
out, encourage women,
Uh-huh.
to also take up these positions, this leadership position. And again, also the women themselves. You know, let me tell you,
Once they have taken up
not all
positions,
women do
Let's-
believe in other women. Let me tell you,
let's
first
assume,
of all,
Patricia,
yes.
let's assume every elected person in parliament today was a woman. What would you deliver for women? Forget this 2/3 gender nonsense. What would you deliver for women? Or what would you expect women leaders to deliver for you?
There are so many things that are affecting women.
Like
I
what?
may not say them, all of them here. There's the issues of gender-based violence.
Uh-huh.
A lot of women are still experiencing such, and it is a fight that we are yet to get there.
Okay,
You
another
get?
thing?
Yeah, there are so many other things. And actually, you know, when we talk of gender-based violence, it carries a lot. It encompasses a lot of issues that are affecting women.
Acha tu tufanye traffic kwa sababu mimi ninaona hii conversation hakuna mahali inaenda.
And again, you also need to understand, when women are in leadership, they are not in leadership for women alone. And that is the reason why, Mungala, we keep on saying that when
But
you
it's-
educate, listen here,
it's
when you
literally-
when you educate a woman,
You've educated the village.
you have educated the village. It is not just a mere saying, it has deep meaning.
You know how producer is a woman. I'll ask her, maybe I'll get a better answer. Because
Okay.
mimi sielewangi your position sionangi. Let's do the traffic.
Traffic.
What are you seeing on your end? Patricia, everybody nipatie traffic updates.
Mungala, you know, okay, sawa. Let me
Everybody
get
traffic
the,
updates.
let me get the traffic. Of course, let me start with this road. This is Gong Road. Gong Road quite okay. Area tunaona traffic kidogo ni around junction, and also pale hivi Prestige, and as you head towards town, that is around City Mortuary roundabout, ukishikana pale na Valley Road, as it gets to town also quite okay, except a little snarl up as it crosses the highway. That is the Mombasa Road. Then there is this Thika Road quite okay, except the usual place. Kwanzia Muthaiga, as you head towards town, we are seeing a little bit of traffic there, but the rest of the road, I see things are quite okay. But wait a minute, as you get back, ukitokea pale Garden City Mall, there is quite a lot of traffic in some area there. Jogoo Road quite okay, everything quite okay, except the little place that we keep on talking about, Makadara area. That's where we're seeing a little bit of snarl up. Otherwise, the rest of the roads are quite okay. Mombasa Road, I think things are quite okay. Kifika pale Nyayo Stadium, that is where we are seeing a little bit of traffic. Mombasa, things are quite okay. Paka pale Lights Kengeleni, that's where we're seeing a little bit of traffic. By the way, pale huwa kuna junction. Yeah, that's why we usually see a traffic there.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
Mi ningependa kusikia kama kuna mama yoyote pale nje anatusikiza, ama mwanamke yoyote anatusikiza, ungalipewa kiti cha woman rep. Ungelipewa kiti cha woman rep. Ungalifanya nini kama mwakilishi wa wanawake? Ungelipata kiti, acha nimalize kuuliza swali.
Okay.
Ungelipata kiti cha useneti cha ku represent wanawake pale Senate. Nini cha maana ungefanya, ungesema ungependa kufanya, ama ungependa kuona kikifanyika? Hebu tupate katika nambari yetu ya WhatsApp. Let me get that number real quick. I keep forgetting it. So it's 011-692-8683. 011-692-8683. You can even send a voice note. In case you're lazy in typing like myself sometimes, you can send that voice note to 011-692-8683. And you can also type on that particular WhatsApp. Tuambie, usipige simu kwa hiyo number. WhatsApp.
Mungala,
yes.
You know, there's something that people usually say about you, and you said here.
Yes.
Anything women we do with moderation. I don't want to reason like a layman, but I'm just going to quote what somebody told me.
Please quote.
That hizi issues za corruption tunaona, ingekuwa ni wanawake wako katika hizo positions, kama ni kukula watakula kidogo, watakula sana.
So unasema kukula nao watakula ni vile watakula kidogo.
If they must eat,
yes,
itakuwa kidogo, because they eat thinking of the generation, thinking of their generations. They'll eat thinking of the society, thinking of their people.
Let me give her that number one more time. 0116-928-683. That's our WhatsApp line. And also you can find us on Radio Gen KE, that is on X. Just tweet there and utuambie, if you were a woman, what would you achieve if elected to a position that represents women, whether it's woman rep or in the Senate or just even an MP. So maybe you get elected and you say, you know what, I'm here to make sure that women can achieve or get A, B, C, D.
Watu watupatie manifesto. It's like you're asking for manifestos from different people, but
na nisipopata, by the way, I will it will qualify my argument that this position is useless.
Is the question open even for men?
Yes, men.
Okay.
Please, men, please tell us what you think that position is all about, and if you were to envision a woman delivering, what do you want them to deliver? Nisipopata, by the way, comments on this one, I will know that my argument is valid. Yes, that position is what? Useless.
Okay. Sawa. Let's get to the newspapers.
Yes.
And starting with the daily newspaper, this is what it says. A biggest story. Tena naona pale picha za speakers, wabunge, ya Senate na hii nyingine. So this is what they're saying, that secrets of MPs bribery scandal. That first of all, you need to know that court blocks president from setting up multi-agency team to fight graft. Kenya. Court imesema hapana.
Yeah. That task force is illegal.
Yes.
Actually, one part of that ruling quoted it as hot air.
So this is what they are saying. MPs and analysts are reading a pattern in President Ruto's latest bribery attacks on parliament, investigations and into government scandals, enactment of anti-graft laws, compensation for victims of state attacks, and a looming hostile probe by the US. You remember yesterday, CT talked of whatever force which is pushing the president to do this. It might be a force that is outside our borders.
Oh, yes.
You remember him saying something of the sort? Well, this story, you can see it or you can read it from pages 4 and 5 of the Daily Nation. And this is what Speaker Moses Wetangula said, that these allegations are coming when we have a leadership meeting with the executive and the judiciary. We will face each other and ask hard questions. Yes? Tutakutana. We ask hard questions. Remember yesterday we said ask questions. As many questions as
possible.
Yes, as you wish. If you want to get answered. So we are waiting. Tulisema hii ni vita imeanza, and we really want to see, because before, I don't think we have ever had any other president coming out and of course accusing the house of being the most corrupt. I don't think, have you
And
ever?
let's not forget, he also accused the judiciary, yeah?
Yes,
In that
also.
same breath.
Yes. I don't think we have ever had a president that had one time come out and said that the parliament tunajua hii na hii imekuwa ikifanyika, but he said that he is a consumer of raw data,
Raw intelligence.
yes.
So let me tell you this. This is a play. I mean, I told you. It has a director. It has a playwright. It has an author. And this is basically, you know, when you watch a movie.
Yes.
When you watch a movie, this is exactly what we are watching right now. Kuna the antagonist, kuna the protagonist, kuna yule atakuja ku save the day, you know. There's also a villain in there somewhere. Then there are the victims. You know, when you watch a movie and then you see if a bomb goes off, kuna wala watu watakufa kwa hiyo bomb, wengine watakuwa maimed and so on and so on. This is exactly what we're watching. A couple of years ago, Aden Duale, when he was a member of parliament, you remember he promised Kenyans to give us a list of people engaging in Al-Shabaab activities.
I remember.
I don't know if you do you remember that time? And he said that he even gave a timeline at you know, the time that he was going to release those names. How many years has it
What
been?
happened?
Miaka imeenda imerudi.
Remember, not only that,
Eh.
there's also, I don't know who had come out and said that he's going to name, give names of people involved in drugs, trafficking.
Narcotics, yes.
How did it go?
People died after that statement.
We are here now.
What are we saying, dear Kenyans? This is a play that has been treated very well, and you're about to see the directors, you're about to see the executive producers, you're about to see the supervising directors, you're about to see the supervising producers, you're about to see the stuntmen, you're about to see the full cast in order of appearance. Mimi ninakwambia, by the time unamaliza, you will either be fully entertained or fully horrified. But at the end of the day, what you're watching is a game, is a play.
I wish we could, the end result could be what we Kenyans have really been agitating for. The end to corruption. Hata kama tutamaliza kabisa.
Professor,
I wish whatever we are seeing could lead to whatever Kenyans have been agitating for.
Professor Herman Manyora, yesterday when he was here, he said something very interesting, and I was like, you know, this guy is actually making sense. If the government had ever wanted to deal with corruption, they would have by now. If they really wanted to, they would have dealt with it by now. And Professor Herman said that actually for President Ruto, it would have been very easy. Siku ya kwanza angeingia tu hivi government, watu wangekamatwa hivi, wafungwe, watupwe wenye wanatupwa watupwe. Na akasema the more time you take, the system takes time to regroup and reorganize. And now they continue attacking you. The system becomes too strong. Ni kama tu kidonda. If you don't treat an infection right now, it
Later
will grow.
on,
Yes, it will grow, and it will become a big problem. And you might end up needing to amputate a limb, or God forbid, you end up dead. Yes. So unfortunately, in this country, we've been letting this vidondas and to grow and infected and spread.
Yes.
And now it is do or die. It is either we amputate or we let the body just die.
You know, in support of the statement that you've said, if really wanted to do this, maybe angeanza immediately he got into power.
Oh, yeah.
And tukiwa shule, there's something that we learned about that strategic leadership, and this is about if you're going to a company or you're going to an institution whereby you are supposed to make changes.
Yeah.
Yes, like you've been called Mungala. This is a company that ilikuwa inakufa. Umeitwa pale kwenda kuleta mabadiliko.
Ndio.
What first you need to do? First of all, ukiwa tu kule nje, you need to study and understand that organization well.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to do changes in terms of you want to lay off people,
Yes.
you do it immediately you get in.
Speaking of getting in, I've gotten one message from a prospective woman representative. Woman rep, eh?
Yes.
Amesema hivi, this is Violet amesema hivi, I will make sure I find out any woman or man who is sick, access treatment. Every child goes to school, every village access water. The rest would be behind that.
Okay.
Leadership that actually makes sense.
Atakusanya wanawake wote wagonjwa.
Kwa ile sehemu ambayo kama ni woman rep wa Nairobi kwa mfano. Atafanya nini? Atakusanya wanawake kwa hiyo area, make sure wewe ni mgonjwa, treatment. Mtoto wako ameenda shule darasani. Mzee wako akona access to water ama access to whatever, taenda. So coming back now to, and I'm trying to tie that to President Ruto's leadership. These are things you do because they are your primary focus as a president. Things like access to water, things like access to education, access to good health. Those are things the president can achieve if he can get rid of this thing called corruption and cartels and impunity. People need to know that there are consequences. Patricia, a CS can't just get out there and say, shoot to kill. Heads need to roll. Because if you fire that minister that said shoot to kill, for example, no other minister will get out there and make a reckless statement because they have seen the precedent. Ongea mbaya, nenda nyumbani. You're here to serve the people. You're not here to kill the people. People are stressed. That is why they might end up doing some very weird, stupid things. But at the end of the day, they are stressed and they will lash out. And you are in leadership. You need to be the one in control. You don't lose control.
Somebody played the devil's advocate. He was the devil's advocate for the president and said that the president is also human. Of course he is human.
But Patricia,
so
mimi sitakangi hiyo story ya the president is also human.
Nimequote to what somebody said about him, that he's human. Sometimes he's bound to.
Hiyo ni balderdash.
Emotions sometimes are bound to overcome him.
When you go for a certain, for instance, Patricia, you literally wanted this job of being a radio presenter, right?
Sure.
When you get to this point, yes, you're human and we know for a fact you're human.
Yes.
But when you get onto that microphone, we don't expect you to start crying to us and telling us, oh, you see, I'm going through this, my husband did this, my child has done this. We don't expect that kind of, because even us as listeners, we have our own problems. So usikuje kutupatia shida zako. And that is why, ukiwa na shida, you take time off. You go deal with your problems and let someone else do that job.
So you wanted the president to take a break?
All I'm saying is, as a radio presenter, if I have issues, I'll take time off to go and do what? Sort out my issues. Once they're sorted, I can, because the listener expects to be entertained. You are the president. You asked for that position. Yes, you are human. We know for a fact. Unaweza pata malaria. Unaweza pata kaswende. So what happens? You go sort out those problems. Then when you come back, you take up the mantle of leadership that Kenyans asked for.
Okay.
Yeah, it's as simple as that, Patricia. So history, the president is also human. Kenyans, 50 million Kenyans, to be honest, they did not elect you to tell them that. To
tell them that you are human. Okay, I said that is somebody ambaye alikuwa anatetea. Well, anyway, getting back to the newspaper.
Wanasema nini kwa gazeti?
Mbali sana. Yeah, they're saying that the motive behind the president's renewed energy in the push to fight corruption. Members of the Senate and National Assembly have asked President Ruto to provide evidence. To provide evidence to the motive behind President's renewed, ameyeka in quotes. I think it's that renewed energy into the push against the corruption. And this is what it says.
Yes.
A new law on conflict of interest, formation of a task force to fight corruption. MPs have connected the dots on Ruto's actions. Let me ask you, unajua the reason why yesterday I said that that multi-agency was supposed to be under the executive.
It has
the executive.
It has EACC, it has NIS, and I'm forgetting the rest. But it has, a couple of state agencies in there. And it is chaired by the office of the president.
How would it have been possible that maybe it is a commission that is, okay, it is an agency that is has been brought together, and then now it is not based It is not domiciled under the executive seat.
Are you see,
I mean, I'm talking of the autonomy, the independence of such an agency, also to fight corruption.
So now this is the situation. This is it. Corruption is a monster, and corruption needs another monster to fight it. And when I say monster, of course, I mean it in a good way. You need a dragon to slay another dragon. Yes, because corruption right now, how it has been, even people look at those cartels that control corruption in this country are very, very powerful individuals. And the only way they can be dealt with is by an equally powerful institution. And the presidency, to be honest, is a very powerful institution, right? No one would dare go for the president unless you're crazy. No one would. Like, literally, we can be making memes here on social media and say we are going to State House and say that Ruto must go, but there are some things you can't do. You cannot go for the president. Now, the president can come for you because he has the authority and the mandate of the people.
Yes.
And the constitution behind him. That is how powerful the president is. He can literally snap his fingers and things will happen. This is a good move if the president actually utilizes that power. It is a fantastic, beautiful move. If the president can actually, you know what, I'm forgetting the country, but it's in Latin America. That president literally shut down the constitution. I'm not saying that we do it here in Kenya, but this president put his foot down. I don't know if it's the president of Ecuador, and he captured every single gang member and put them in prison. Alikamata watu in one single sweep. Is it sweep or swoop? He just went for, watu waliamuka hivi, you find police outside your door. You're a cartel leader. Yes. You're a gang member. You're a drug dealer. You're whatever it is that you do. And that country right now, they are literally worshipping that guy. Why? Because I think it must be Ecuador. Because that country went from literally the death capital of the world, the murder capital of the world, to literally the safest place on earth. Because every single, unaonanga wale watu wa mtaani wanakujanga wanataka kukuchapa ama mnajuanga mse kwa mtaani ndio thug.
Yes.
That person is in prison right now. Yes. So long story short, even for political leaders who were leading gangs, watu walikamatwa wote. Now that country is a place you can, and he literally had to suspend the constitution in that regard. And he has put curfews in that country. Kuna places huwezi patikana 6 p.m. Yes. And it's been like that. And the citizens are literally applauding this guy. They are like, Yani, we'd rather have this kind of peace than the kind of chaos we saw before. So the president has got that authority and that power. We honestly do hope he utilizes it.
This will not be easy. It will not be an easy one.
And I want to be proven wrong, by the way. I want to be proven wrong because I've been saying this is a play, this is a skit, this is a movie. I'd like to be proven wrong. We need to see heads rolling, Patricia. Watu washikwe, watu wafungwe, watu walale ndani. Tuone kesi zimeenda kotini na hizo koti zinaambiwa ziko corrupt, tuone zikifanya kazi yao. Watu wafungwe hizo miaka 50, 55, wengine wahukumiwa takifo in accordance to the law. After that, Patricia, sikudanganyi, we shall have a country. We shall have a country. Mimi hata nitakuwa mtu wa kwanza kusema tuongeze Ruto another even 15 years.
Let me highlight something here. One, Asuba Churchill said that the president knows that while parliament could be as corrupt as the executive that he leads, his messaging and apparent attacks may not change public opinion about his government's association with the vice. Kuna kitu hapa Okiya Mtata has said. He is just trying to divert attention on his governance failure. The multi-agency team is supposed to be a laundry machine to clear him and his friends from allegations of corrupt conduct. That is Mr. Okiya Mtata.
Yeah, mimi nimewambia hii game bana.
Mwingine Kirinyaga Senator James Murango said he must be a sinister political, there must be a sinister political motive behind the formation of the multi-agency team. Why should you give EAC's mandate to an amorphous body Yeah, that's a question. I think a lot of people have reacted to the move by the president.
Yes.
So far, even Sisi, kama wa Kenya, leave alone even the leaders. But of course, the leaders have been so loud about it. Yeah, wabunge wanamwambia tuletee evidence. If you say we are corrupt, bring us that evidence.
I'm looking at the standard, yeah. Thorn in the flesh. A year after his ouster, accused of misconduct, corruption, and insubordination, Rigathi Gachagua has recast himself as Ruto's loudest foe. He has turned against his former boss, accusing him of running a criminal enterprise from State House, extrajudicial killings, and state-backed militias. Fresh from a U.S. tour, he returns to lead the opposition in high-stakes by-elections address rehearsal for the bruising 2027 contest. Here's the timeline of Gachagua's US tour. July 9th, Gachagua leaves Kenya for the US. July 13th, graces Kikuyu Cultural Festivals at Sagile Park in Seattle, Washington. Mali Pastanga alikuwa anambia Shiato. And then July 21st, engages Kenyans in the diaspora at a town hall meeting in Boston. Yeah. And then July 27 holds a community public rally in Baltimore, Maryland. And then on August 5th, meets members from the Gusii community in Texas. August 6th, attends a conference to commemorate 8 years since Hiroshima and Nagasaki were bombed at the Truman Presidential Library and Museum in Missouri. And August 10th, engages Kenyans in Los Angeles in California. And August 18th, holds an event in Tewksbury in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Yeah. Now he's set to come back to Kenya. I hope he's coming back with an accent, by the way. He's coming back to Kenya to ensure that whatever he has learned in the US, from Kenyans in the US, to be specific, atatuletea hapa. And I hope atatuletea good news, salamu na mautamu. But coming back to the political scenario and arena that he's about to step into, former DP Gachagua is in for a proper ride. Si ulisikia walisema wanataka kumkamata na mpeleke kule ndani, sababu vitu alikuwa anasema akiwa huko US, mambo ya RSF, mambo ya Sudan, kumbuka? Akasema kuna history nyingine ya Al-Shabaab. So DCI alisema lazima akifika andikishe statement, not necessarily arrest or put him in custody.
Statement.
But afike andike statement. Now, well, anyway, there are also reports, you know me, I'm always nasikizanga grapevine sana, that they might divert his plane. Munaweza kuwa mnamngojea JKIA, jamaa land Uganda. Munaweza unajua huko juu hewani.
Okay.
Haujuangi mali huko.
Yes.
Unajuanga tu ukishatalimka kwa mawingu ndio unaanza kuona KICC, unaanza kuona JKIA, unaanza kuona inaitwaje Times Towers, unaona ile Equity Towers, unasema I'm in Nairobi, you know. But
if you are a frequent traveler or flyer, yes, most of the time kuna some places you will always tell.
Ndio nasema, but utajua ukishateremka mawingu hazinanga landmark. Hakuna mawingu inaka kama Times Towers. Hakuna mawingu inaka kama Mount Kilimanjaro ujue mali huko. The point here is, so hata yeye anaweza kuwa anakuja iteremke pale kwa mawingu, jamaa realize but hapa ni Zimbabwe nini?
Well, you know, ile siku niliamini kwamba in Kenya anything can be possible. Ni ule wakati wa Miguna.
Oh yes.
That's the day niliamini kwamba Mungala, you keep on saying ati kwenu ni Kitui. Siku ingine unaweza jipata unaambiwa kwamba hata hiyo Kitui si kwenu. Si kwenu hata kidogo.
Gachagua unajua pia anaweza,
wewe ni mtu wa Uganda, rudi Uganda. Unajua
ndege, do you know how many international airports we have in Kenya? Si tuko na JKIA of course.
Yes.
Tuko na Moi in Eldoret. Wait, Moi ni ya Mombasa. Ya Eldoret inaitwaje? Whatever. Kuna Eldoret, then kuna ingine pia ya Kisumu City.
Yes.
All those are international airports.
Okay.
And they can land a Boeing 787. So or a Dreamliner.
Inaweza kuwa diver ambao wewe
jamaa anaweza kuwa nadhani anakuja JKIA. Twende tumngoje pale JKIA, tumebeba mabango, tumedance na marimba huko, wa Masai wanaruka alafu land Kisumu. All I am saying is Kenya is full of politics, theatrics, and other tricks. So let's get ready for that and much more. When is he landing? Is he landing today? I don't know. Anyway, we're about to take a short break right now. Get into the news with Winnie Maganga, I've only gotten one woman telling me what they want to do for this country. So, meaning every other woman listening to me right now either doesn't believe in this seat,
We
or
have
they
a lot we
honestly
can
don't.
do. Let me cut you short.
Here is the news with one Winnie Maganga.
Radio Generation. Traffic.
It's 7 o'clock.
Radio Generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation. The home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The government has tightened rules at the Masai Mara Game Reserve following a viral incident involving tourists. Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says new measures will ensure visitors' safety and protect the world-famous wild-beast migration. The move comes after tourists were filmed leaving their vehicles and blocking wild-beast crossing points during floods at Purungat Gate. Under the new rules, more rangers will be deployed to critical migration routes, tour operators will face closer scrutiny, and signage will be put up across the reserve to guide visitors. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has responded to Chief Justice Martha Kome's recent comments regarding cyberbullying of judicial officers. He said that bullying is a widespread problem affecting all public servants, including the president. Speaking in Nyandarua County during the launch of Grassroots Security Engagement Program, Murkomen said the CJ was right to be concerned, but emphasized that judges are not alone in facing online harassment.
Muliona Chief Justice jana akisema kwamba judiciary is being bullied, ati we are being bullied so that we make decisions in a particular manner. Ni ile tu hatujapata forum kama hii. Mimi nangojea forum yenye tutakaa wote na Chief Justice. Hakuna watu wanakuwa bullied kuliko wanasiasa. Hakuna mtu Kenya is bullied than the president. Ukiona saa hizi kwa social media unapata msichana mdogo anatusiwa kwa Twitter, ametusiwa kwa TikTok, wameenda huko kubuli young girls, police officers. They are being bullied all the time on social media. Majina yao ikiweko hapa, hata wengine wanaambiwa tunajua mtoto yako hapo shule gani.
Senate Speaker Amason Kingi has dismissed allegations of bribery and extortion within the Senate, stating that no formal complaints have been filed against any legislator. Speaking on Wednesday, Kingi said the Senate leadership had reviewed the accusations made by President William Ruto at the 2025 devolution conference last week and noted a lack of specific details. The president had claimed that MPs and senators solicited bribes from government officers appearing before parliamentary committees.
The leadership of the Senate has also noted that the allegations have not included material particulars, including the specific individual senator against whom the allegations of bribery are made. Senators are called to a very high office of responsibility and accountability and are required under the Constitution to live up to a very high standard of integrity and accountability. This is the thrust of a number of provisions of the Constitution, including Articles 1, Sub-Article 3, and Articles 10, as well as Chapter 6 of the Leadership and Integrity of State Officers. Senators take and subscribe to an oath of office.
Police at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport have arrested Cameroonian national Fabono Wasso for attempting to leave the country without court approval. Fabono is facing charges of defrauding a woman of 3.5 million shillings in fake gold deal was intercepted on August 20th while boarding a flight to the Philippines. Prosecutors told the court he had obtained a new passport despite being required to surrender his travel documents as part of his bond terms. Senior Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego ruled that he had willfully breached his bond conditions, cancelled his bond and ordered his detention pending the fraud trial. The death toll from an attack by gunmen on a mosque nearby homes in Nigeria's northwest Katsina state has risen to at least 50, with around 60 others abducted, local officials and residents said on Wednesday. The attack occurred early on Tuesday in the remote community of Ugwan Mantao in Malufashi district as Muslim worshippers gathered for the dawn prayer. Witnesses reported that armed assailants arrived on motorcycles, opening fire inside the mosque before moving through the village. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generations, the people's breakfast. Curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The people's breakfast. Your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights. Radio Generation.
A very good morning to you. Welcome back. This is Radio Generation. My name is Mungana Mbuvi. Tuko naye Patricia Wayo. It's 5 minutes past 7 o'clock. You are currently tuned in to 88.8 in Nairobi. And I hope you're also on rgk.co.ke where all the top stories are there. We're also live on our YouTube channel. That is Radio Generation Kenya. 3.6k views or rather subscribers. Thank you so much. Keep subscribing. We are also on X. We are live on X. That is Radio Gen KE. You can also get to watch us there. Whether you're in the matatu, whether in your beds, whether you are taking that shower, please ensure that the conversation continues. There's a story that is of interest here in the Standard, Patricia.
Yes.
On page 3, and this is a shocker. Man not married despite 10-year union and children. Court rules decades-long cohabitation and children do not constitute marriage. Judge dismisses dowry and adultery, claims orders man to bear cost of the case. So the man argued that he needed to part ways, claiming that in 2013, the woman began an adulterous relationship with another man, codenamed FR. He sought dissolution of the alleged marriage and compensation from both the woman and her alleged lover. The man, here called MG, had first filed the case in a lower court, but the magistrate ruled that no marriage existed between them in the first place. Aggrieved, he escalated the dispute to the High Court before Justice Maureen Odero. And in his appeal, MG raised 10 issues, among them that the magistrate had failed to consider the years he had lived with BW. BW is a woman, and their children. In her response, BW denied there was ever a valid or recognizable marriage between her and MG, the father of her 2 children. Now, in the Kikuyu custom, according to this lady, according to BW, MG ought to have clearly demonstrated that they were married, either by providing or proving long-term cohabitation or by showing that he had honored Kikuyu customary rights. Justice Maureen Odero, however, sided with BW and upheld the magistrate's verdict. Yeah.
Okay, so okay, I didn't understand. What does the guy want?
The guy wants a divorce because he found out that BW was sleeping with another man. So he wanted not only a divorce but compensation from BW and FR. FR ndio walikuwa na cheat na yeye, ndio Klande.
Okay, what compensation?
I don't know, but he was like, nimeishi na mwanamke for 10 years. I have provided for her for 10 years. We have had children that I have been taking care of. Nimelipa school fees, nimekuwa nikinunua chakula, nimekuwa nikifanya mambo yote na huyu mwanamke. Sasa ananicheza aje hivyo? Wasting my time here. I want her to compensate me, not for the children. Children are your responsibility even after the divorce. But nataka hii miaka 10 nimekuwa nikiishi na mwanamke, nikimlipia rent, nikimlipia pesa ya nywele, nikimnunulia gari, nikifuel gari yake, nikifanya mambo yote. Bwana, hata wazazi wake nimekuwa nikiwatumia pesa. Every time my mother-in-law calls me, oh my son, water tank has a problem, I provide. Oh my son, ng'ombe hapa hazina chakula, natuma pesa ya chakula. Oh my son, veterinary amekuja hapa kupatia kuku chanjo, napeana pesa ya chanjo. Oh my son, mbuzi zinahitaji chanjo, napeana. mbwa wanataka kudungwa sindano ya rabies,
You have
natuma.
given, yeah.
Sasa this guy is like, I need payment for all these things that I did for this family, for this woman actually, because it's not just for the family.
So what does the law say about compensation?
About
Maybe you can-
compensation,
yes.
I don't know. We shall be
About
hosting
compensation in terms of
Yeah.
when you divorce.
we shall be hosting a law in the next hopefully that question will pop up somewhere. I don't know. However, as a person who's gone through that process, hapo kwa compensation inakwanga tu muna divide tu matrimonial property period.
What you've
Stories zingine za ati I took
What you made
took care of this
together.
woman for 10 years. Yeah, see, you are enjoying her company.
yeah.
Yeah, so hiyo kidogo hata mimi siwezi enter that direction, but nonetheless, this guy, what we're trying to say is clearly alichezwa na alichezwa properly. Yeah, long story short, the judge has said if you're cohabiting with someone, it doesn't surmount or it doesn't necessarily mean that now you're married. Watu wanatembeanga huku hivi nje wanaitanga madem zao ati wife ameniambia sijui nini kwa duka nikanunua vitunguu. Mwache kuita huyo mwanamke
Na
wife.
hujaenda hata kwao.
Unaweza kuwa umeenda kwao,
If you've
Patricia.
cohabited for a certain period of time, I think you qualify to be married.
You qualify to be married,
Yes.
but you do not qualify to be called wife until you put that ring.
So even when you marry somebody, what
Yes.
do you call them? What do you usually refer to
No,
them?
when you marry them, they are your wife.
Yes.
Even when you do the customary thing, where you take cows, then you do the exchange, wazee wanakunywa ile moratina, wanasema fine, waneka tick, that's your wife. And you can actually argue that in court because it recognizes customary marriages.
Yes.
However, there's a new law
Yeah.
where you're
Issues
supposed
of
to
marriage.
register that rorashio or kwaito for the Kalenjins or ngasia for the Kambas on there. You are supposed to go and register that with the Register of Marriages. Sawa?
Okay.
So don't just be walking around with a woman calling her my wife, and you have got nothing to show for it. Huna
At least
certificate,
do something.
huna affidavit, you have got nothing to show that this is your wife. My friend, utakuja kulilia kwa choo.
What is the cost of marriage right now in AG? Is it AG? Office.
So we just do a quick Google search. Wacha tuone. Tuone Google inasema ni how much.
The other day, I went.
How much is marriage registration in Kenya? According to the internet, hapo wamesema ni pesa ngapi kweli? Hawajasema ni how much. But I think it's me when I did it, it was 3,000. It could be higher right now, but I remember at the time it was about 3K. So for 3,000 shillings, you can actually marry your partner. You can go register that marriage at Sharia House. And once you register it at Sharia House, you of course will have to wait for 21 days in case someone has a kizuizi towards
Yes.
that marriage. If after 21 days no one comes and says kuna shida hapa, you are allowed to get married. You can do it
to
at the
continue.
AG. Yes, you can do it at the AG's office, or you can do it in church, or you can do it at the mosque venye watu wanafanyanga. Kama wewe ni muhindi, you can do it in the temple.
Mungala, I'm telling you, people are marrying. Juzi I went to nilienda katika hiyo ofisi. Watu si wako wengi kule. Yeah? Watu wamekuja mpaka kule wamevalia mpaka nguo za harusi already.
Naam.
Yeah. Marriages, they are taking place. By the way, people are registering their marriages. Sa kama we bado hujafanya yako, please do. It's quite important.
But also, question is, do you want to do it with the person you're with right now? Or do you know a lot of people are in relationships, but they are actually in love with other people? Yeah, it's that bad.
Well, I don't know, but I hear some people saying that we do not just marry. Don't marry because of the love. Sometimes it fades away.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, don't just marry kwa sababu mtu ukimwona, I mean, you can't live without seeing them. There's a day you will not want even to see them.
But you see, at the end of the day, and this is my last advice as far as marriage is concerned, love has got to be a part of it. It
Of
might
course.
not necessarily be the one thing
The
that
main,
will,
yes.
the glue that will hold you together, but at least there has got to be some level of love. Yes, you cannot be living with someone that you hate.
You okay?
Ama you're living with someone just because they're rich. Ama you live with someone because
What
you
did
know
you say? What did
they're
you
rich.
say? People are doing it.
They're doing it, but I'm saying it's wrong.
Yeah, people are doing it.
But
so
it's wrong.
there's more. There's
Yeah.
more to marriages, there's more to
But Patricia,
families. Yes.
people are killing, but it's wrong. It doesn't
True.
make it right. Sawa. Haya, tuangalie tena hapa wanasema nini katika gazeti langu. Tourism without borders, Kenya Uganda forge path. Tourism stakeholders in Kenya and Uganda are exploring ways to jointly market their sites across East Africa and globally. They argue that the two nations should complement one another by developing strategies to attract more visitors both within and between the countries. Uganda's Consul General to Mombasa, Ambassador Paul Mukumbia, said the partnership seeks to consolidate networks, synergies, and diversity to maximize tourism potential.
Okay.
Hivyo ndivyo wanasema. Uganda na Kenya tumekuwa marafiki kwa muda mrefu. Tumekuwa marafiki pia na Tanzania, lakini kidogo kumekuwa na drama on that end. Did you hear that tulinunua some people bought tickets za Tanzania and the Tanzanian Chad game.
And they were not able to.
I don't know how true that is. I will treat it as a rumor for now, but that meme has been doing rounds on social media. And if it is true, wa Kenya bana, kweni wapole.
They bought the tickets?
For the Tanzania Chad,
Then?
so that Tanzanians don't go to the pitch.
Don't go to the pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, Kenyans.
How true that is, of course, we leave it to speculation. Gachagua, thorn to flesh of Ruto administration, returns from the US. You can read that story on page 4. Tulikuwa tushaiguzia. We won't dwell on it for now. Wacha tungoje Gachagua afike, ndio sasa tuwapatie uhondo ukiwa vile ulivyo. Why censure motion on Ruto could lay ground for ouster bid? Legislators in both houses threatened to summon the president over graft claims. Though far-fetched, motion to discuss Ruto's conduct could lead to impeachment. I will leave this conversation for the next hour. I don't want to waste it right now. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. MPs cancel CS Mbadi's order on e-procurement. E-gava. No legal basis to pay ex-councillors. This is according to Mbadi. You remember there's a former MCA we hosted here.
Yes.
Nakasema MCAs unajua wananga pension.
It's true.
Kasema MCA anaweza kuwa MCA even for 40 years. Na atoke
Na
bila
ukitoka
pension.
unatoka hapo mkono mtupu.
So nilikuwa nasema wa. So Treasury CS says a task force found no law allowing the payment. Mbadi warned paying up could open a floodgate of demands. So National Treasury CS John Mbadi has said there is no legal basis to implement proposed one-off honorarium of 200,000 shillings to former councillors who served less than 4 consecutive terms. So they have to serve more than 4 consecutive terms, yeah? So yesterday the CS said following review of recommendations of a task force established to look into the matter, the Attorney General in an advisory dated May 8th concluded that there is no legal foundation for implementing the proposed one-off honorarium. He said that the conclusion was based on absence of a legal instrument anchoring such payment and inconsistency of the proposal with established public service pension principles, as well as a circular which only recognizes councillors with 20 years of continuous service as eligible for pension or gratuity. Yeah. Kwa hivyo kama wewe ni MCA, my friend, itabidi umeng'ang'ana upate at least 4 consecutive terms ndio ukue eligible for pension.
For the pension.
And gratuity.
I don't want to say much about such, because when you look at the Kenyans payroll.
Yes.
Generally, umejua kwamba budget kama ya Kenya we spend a lot in stories za payroll.
Yeah.
We spent a lot.
Yes.
So okay, I know if kama ni wabunge, if they were, it's something that really was concerning them in terms of the payroll. It's something they would have sat down and come up with a way forward.
True.
But of course, this one is not really affecting them directly. Yeah, not really affecting them directly. So, but they do. They deserve.
Yeah. On page 8 of the Standard, how judges have tamed President Ruto's appetite for illegal task forces. Now, a series of presidential directives have been declared unconstitutional and illegal. The courts have cited lack of public participation and usurpation of statutory bodies' roles. Sasa kama hii story ya nini ya task force ya anti corruption yenye ilikuanga instigated by one Dr. Magere Gikenyi. He's actually pictured here on page 9 of the Standard newspaper. We hosted him here.
Yes, the other day.
Yeah,
Yes.
last week.
Yes.
Now, according to Dr. Gikenyi, sorry, the four petitioners want the court to declare President William Ruto's move unconstitutional. He was one of the four, and they have questioned the inclusion of state agencies as well as opaque funding structures. So wacha niweke gazeti kando kidogo. Kuna Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission.
Sure.
Their work is literally anti-corruption.
True.
Like it is in their name. So why are we forming a task force, including the EACC, to do what? To tackle corruption. And this is what Dr. Gikenyi was saying, and the other four petitioners. Why would we? It's like having a wife, then having a what is it called? A committee of wives to ensure that your wife is performing. You see my argument?
Well, I think this is not a practice that is starting with the president, with the current president. First of all, we need to admit the fact that for the longest, nchi yetu ya Kenya imejulikana kama nchi ya jopo. Tunatengeneza jopo la hii, jopo jopo ndani la jopo. Yeah, we keep on. This is it is a practice that has always been there. I don't know whether it is a way of these people. I don't know.
There's a time actually President Moi alienjoywa na the ridiculous trio, Walter Mongare, KJ and Tony Njuguna. Walimuenjoy that he likes forming a commission of inquiry over everything. Magi kafika mahali he formed a commission of inquiry to look into the other commission of inquiries. Tunatengeneza commission of inquiry itavute shida iko wapi. But the point here is and you said that President Ruto is not the first person to have all these commissions and task forces, and they've just changed names over time.
Yeah.
But now the problem with our our current president is the fact that this commission has actually been called out by the courts. Maybe the others were also illegal, we don't know. But specifically for President Ruto, the courts have stepped in because of people, patriots, let me call them, as Dr. Gikenyi here.
Kenyans know better.
Yes.
I keep on telling you, Kenyans know better.
Tunasemanga Kenyans are woke nowadays. Yeah, Wakenya wameamka, wamechangamka, na wanajua, wanaona, kunajua kuna some clever Kenyans. Personally, I wouldn't have given this task force much thought. Because I was like, oh, okay, he's fighting corruption, twende kazi. But there's someone who's like, no, hold on. There's actually a way to do this. And then he also brought out that whole issue of funding. How are we going to fund this particular task force? Because already EACC has got its own funding. NIS, part of also that team.
Funding.
DCI wako na funding yao. Office of the President iko na funding yake. So tunasema nini haswa kuhusu hii task force? Pesa zitatumikaje? Wakikutana, for example, who in the task force is going to meet? Is it the NIS director? Is it the deputy director? In the office, something is in my eye.
Sorry.
In the office of the president, who's going to be there? Is it the spokesman from
the spokesperson
State House? Is it Hussein Mohammed who's going to sit in that task force? Is it Itumbi who's going to sit in that task force? Is it Isaac Mwaura? Like, who is sitting in this task force?
Well, sometimes you might also try to understand why we usually need these commissions. Yeah, because maybe there's something that this agency needs to do. There's something that this commission, we have connected responsibilities also. So the best way, I think, is coming up with a commission that is like giving every other commission that opportunity to work together.
Okay.
I think that should be the essence of bringing these people together, because we have some responsibility, like the fight against corruption. You will not just put it entirely on EAC. Sawa. You will not put it entirely on IPOA. You will not put it entirely on KRA. That is the reason now you will need some representatives from this, or you'll need all these commissions coming together and working together. Now the problem when we talk about the funding, well, I would suggest that if it is funding that commission or agency, then kwa sababu hizi commissions zenyewe ziko na they have their own funding, they have their own budgets. Basi we go back to those commissions. Munatoa hii, nyinyi munatoa hii instead of doing fresh funding. Like sasa tunaanza, we know these people are charged with that responsibility, these wako na hiyo responsibility, but then and they already have the funding for that. Then sisi tunatoka tena tunaingia tena kwa mfuko wa mwananchi, yes, tunaenda kutafuta another fresh funding in order for these people to do their duties, their roles. And I think that is also one of the reasons why we never get to conclusion of these matters most of the time.
You see, umesema hapo kila agency itoe report yake, then and it's a good thing. Actually it would be more effective that way, such that can we have the EACC, like right now the EACC has summoned Garissa governor over graft and hiring claims. Yeah, you can get that story on rgk.co.ke. It's actually 14 minutes fresh. EACC watafanya kinyo watafanya. How did they know that the governor probably is they're suspecting him of graft? Yes, of course they needed to have some kind of evidence.
They need evidence. And that is where now we'll talk of these other places like KRA.
Ngoja kidogo.
We want, yes.
So watamuita Garissa governor pale, aende akajitetee. Akishamaliza kujitetea, if they find that he has a case to answer, it's very simple. They refer that case to the ODPP, Office of the Public Prosecutions. Yeah? So akishafika huko kwa prosecutor ni angalia evidence na aite nani? DCI. Look, we need this and this and this done. You know? Can we get more information on this particular situation? Actually, even the EACC can go to DCI,
yes, and
tell the DCI, look, we have found discrepancies here. There is this situation. Tumeambiwa hapa kuna kitu ya nini. DCI wataenda kwa KRA. Kama ni KRA wanneed kuangalia issues to do with taxation. Did he evade tax? Did he declare taxes that were unreal or whatever, fake? Then now DCI now can go to the Director of Public Prosecutions and say, look, here's a case. Then ODPP waende kotini. Jamaa ashikwe aende akajitetee. It's as simple as that. We don't need a task force.
All these task
we
force.
honestly don't need a task
multi-agency, SGD, they know their work, and there's a procedure that should be followed.
Kitu wafanye tu described. Wafungue tu WhatsApp group. We don't need a task. No, on a serious note, we honestly don't need a task force or a task group or a commission of inquiry. Wafungue WhatsApp group na waseme we ni aje DCI uko na kitu for us today. ODPP aseme okay nipatie apewe. Aya kwa in the same WhatsApp group EACC waseme ni aje DCI by the way hebu neni muangala mbuvi hapo RG kuna kitu. DCI wakuja hapa ufanye kazi waseme by the way tumepata. ODPP aseme nisukumie hiyo kitu. Asukumiwe.
Basically there are procedures that they can use to work together. It's not just a must sasa watu waanze come up na easy multi agencies jui nini. That is their role. Like if it is EACC, you are supposed to work hand in hand with this commission. You are supposed to work hand in hand with this.
And the president as the head boy should just be like, yo guys, ODPP ndio ulisukumua story ya RG imefika wapi? DCI kuna ile story mlipatoa ya governor imefika wapi? Unajua, so yeye ndi kwa keep to on toes, keeping them in check. Aulize wewe ni aje NIS, mbona sisikii nikaa kuna story kwani amko job leo nini? Unaona, NIS waseme by the way mdosi kuna issue hapa hivi.
The truth is, the truth is Mungala, the truth is these committees, these commissions, these agencies zote, when these people come up with those when the president comes up na hizo jopo, they do it into the taxpayers pocket. You get, and most of the time you realize that whatever they come up with never works. You know that? Never works. So let them just play their role. Actually, that is the mandate that they have to do. So if they let them use the budget that they have. Okay, I know for the longest time, some of these agencies were being underfunded. From the government budget most of the time. But right now, Actually, as per the previous, I mean, the budget that we are operating with right now as a country, some of these agencies and commissions, they are well looked into. Yeah, wamepewa funding. So I think it is high time now maybe we see what they are doing, because previously some of them by they didn't have that funding.
Now they need to show us there. And of course, I have questions about our Attorney General. Where is she when our president is making blunder after blunder, as far as what are they called, as far as these commissions of inquiry are concerned? You know, these task forces, why are they always shut down? But well, not always, but why are some of these things that the president is trying to do, why are they always shut down by parliament, by the judiciary? Sorry. Yeah, someone either is not working, but anyway, let's do the traffic, then we can actually look at this particular situation and dissect it properly. Right now though, what is happening on the roads?
Traffic.
Niko hapa kwenye barabara kuu ya Mombasa, naona kwamba nyinyi hamna shida yoyote sasa hivi, traffic inasonga vyema. Nikiangalia watu ambao wanatoka pale at River coming through past Mulolongo, you guys are moving quite well, but it's only 7:30. How much traffic can there be at this particular hour? I don't know, but there's some traffic snarl up on Airport North Road. So if you're coming from Outer Ring Road, so right now things are bumper to bumper for you guys. Hey, polente na sana. Kwanza yako ka place tunaitanga Taj Mall. Kameshikana sana. Ukielekea sehemu ya All Soaps, kuna drama pale ukikaribia Dawn Home. And when I say drama, I mean a lot of traffic snarl up. Also Manyanja Road, traffic there can be witnessed as you're trying to join Outer Ring Road. Polente na sana. Mumias Road as well, there's traffic there, bumper to bumper this particular hour. Another situation that you guys are experiencing as far as traffic is concerned, pale Outer Ring, pale panaitwa subway station. Do you guys have a subway? Yeah, but I can see you have traffic. Juja Road hapo roundabout ni kama mnataka kwenda Komarok na ni kama mnataka kuingia Eastleigh, bahali yake hapo pia kameshikana. What else? Thika Super Highway, Mathare Teaching and Referral Hospital pale, a lot of traffic as you're heading into town. Anything that happens that is of manner, of course, we shall definitely let you know.
Traffic on Radio Generation.
Patricia, nilikuwa ninauliza what's up with the Attorney General, Madam Oduor.
You were asking what they are doing. Are they not advising the president?
Sababu vitu zingine bana zinafanyika, they are very very embarrassing, for lack of a better word, and let me tell you why. So on page 8, how judges have tamed President Ruto's appetite for illegal task forces. A series of presidential directives have been declared unconstitutional and illegal. This is the Standard, page 8. The courts have cited lack of public participation and the usurpation of statutory bodies. President William Ruto's move to establish multi-agency team to fight corruption could be another failed attempt to usurp the powers of independent institutions. Independent institutions. Announced on Monday, the 11-member team comprises key state actors, including the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Directorate of Criminal Investigation, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecution, the National Intelligence Service, and the Asset Recovery Agency. These are independent institutions. They should not be interfered with by the president or anyone for that matter.
That's why I questioned about the autonomy, the independence of these bodies.
Now, according to the president, the objective is to coordinate the fast track investigations and prosecutions related to graft, economic crimes, and asset recovery. Tuachie hapo. Yeah. Sasa pia our multi-agency leaders, mdosi wa Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, mdosi wa NIS, mdosi wa Asset Recovery Agency, mdosi wa DCI, mdosi wa EACC na KRA, na huko wengine watu wametajwa. Kama watu wanaelewa maofisi yao, wanaelewa their mandate, they understand what the constitution says about their office, why would they allow this kind of thing to go on? There's no way today, Patricia, someone will call you and your JD says you answer to no one but Kenyans, and then now they tell you from today, Patricia, you will be telling me what's going on. Kidogo ama someone tells you, Patricia, today I'll be before you do, you ask me. kidogo hata wewe unafaa kumwambia but I'm sorry sir, you know this is not how it's supposed to work. There is no one from those, I think we've mentioned 5 agencies, no one from those agencies stood up and told the president, look brah,
we are independent,
this doesn't work this way, my brother. Hey, this doesn't work. I'm trying to be Malema, but no one actually just told no one out of all those bosses were anti-corruption, were ARA, were DCI, were NIS, EACC. Then now we go back to Nancy Udor, the Attorney General.
Yes.
She couldn't just tell President, hey, kidogo boss, hapo unachoma, hapo utabant bro.
So I think following the precedence that has been set before by the previous presidents, so you might also be operating from that, because you know sometimes also precedence also matters. This is what we have been doing.
How many lawyers are in President Ruto's government?
There are many.
Tuchukua tu Murkomen peke yake. Murkomen angemwambia hapo my boss utachoma.
Sasa he is busy. Unajua pia kuna kazi.
Hapo kidogo hiyo uwezi kuweka watu hivyo. No one told him that. Professor Makau Mutua. One of the biggest
Professor,
brains.
yes.
One of the biggest brains
in the country.
In the country as far as the law is, like this guy was a dean in Harvard Law School. Unajua by the time unakuwa dean wa Harvard wewe ni nani wewe? Angemwambia tu kidogo hapo, hey bro, yo, you can't do that man, you can't do that. Another person I will point out, a very good friend of the president, we have senior counsel Ahmed Nasir. Angemwambia hapo kidogo, ama alimwambia sijui, I could be wrong on that one, sitaki Nasir anikujie, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And the very many other lawyers, we have akina Cherargei hapo, si anasema anga alikuanga law school alifuzwa na Murkomen. Na nakwanga si ni senator lakini ni best ya president. I'm sure president kuna mahali before he said there's a task force, maybe alikuwa anaambia my friends, kuna kitu nataka nianzishe.
Yes.
Munaona namna gani? Hakuna mtu kwa hiyo rende, kwa hiyo WhatsApp group ama when they were having nyama choma on Sunday akamwambia my friend, hiyo kitu it's just not going to work.
Well, I don't want to say much about that because you realize the other day I was asking, I don't know which guest we had here that day, and I was asking like, okay, why is it that even the interpretation of our law, our constitution, sometimes you find that it varies from a different council to another?
And that is why, even as a president, and we'll go back to the point you said, even the president is human. The president by the way is not a lawyer, we know that for a fact. The president is a botanist. Cynthia, he has a PhD in botany.
Yes.
So we don't expect him to I mean, he knows the law, he might understand the law, but he doesn't understand it to like when we filter it down to now the juice, he might not understand that much. And that is why you surround yourself with advisors, and that's why I pointed out Makau Mutua, professor, is a lawyer, and at the very least the president should be consulting these people. Now always they will say, Nikki, for me task force, what kind of headwinds will I face, and what are my tailwinds as far as this is concerned? Or how can I ensure that I do this and deliver the same the effect that we're looking for, so that we can stop embarrassing the president?
Well, another thing you also need to understand is that okay, in politics hakuna embarrassment. Yeah, in politics hakuna ati I'll feel sijui embarrassed, sijui nilifanya nini, because
unajua problem yenu nini? Okay, of course hakuna embarrassment.
Yes.
Mtacheka hiyo story ishe.
Hiyo story imeisha.
But Patricia, what does it do to us as Kenyans? You see, we are forgetting that every decision the president makes, hata tu ya kununua tissue State House, by the Patricia, that decision affects us directly.
Me and you, we agree it does affect us. Sawa, we agree it will affect us, our pockets, our everything. Sawa. But then now I want you to also look at it from the perspective of you said there are brains behind the president. Yes. Some of them are senior counsels. Sawa. They, of course, they know the law. So most of the time, some of these actions that we see, maybe a president taking or a leader taking, sometimes inakuwa pia ni kama ni tease. Amekuja tu pale hivi, ametry kufanya hivyo. So when all your attention is diverted, maybe kuna kitu kingine itakuwa inafanyika. That's also a way of looking at it, because unaweza pata kwamba you have all these people, you have all these brains behind you telling you that now, Mr. President, this one cannot work. This one will be challenged in courts. This one, according to the law, is not legal. Sawa sawa. This is not going to work. But then, okay, so how can we work with this? Tuendelee ama tusiendelee? Tuendelee.
So are you saying
with,
that
with a target? Because, for example, this is a fight against graft. And that is the reason why I keep on telling you, most of the time, these things that we do using the law, kuna sometimes I feel like the law, we do apply it to the constitution, but sometimes it doesn't work for us.
are you saying that the president doesn't listen?
No. I want you to get me. He does listen.
So are you saying that then,
so sometimes
are you alleging that the people advising him are misadvising him?
Not misadvising him at all. I said sometimes I will come and tell you, Mungala, we are seated, we are on a round
you as the
table.
president now. You as the president. Okay, tell me.
Nitakuja niwaambie, okay, kuna hii na hii. I'm not saying that is what the president did. So I'll tell you.
Of course, we're
bwana,
assuming.
we know where we are politically. Tunajua tuko wapi. So want to do something yenye ita divert attention kidogo hii ipite. You get, inaweza divert attention hii ipite. Ama hata some other times he'll just be innocent and just say, okay, me, I want to form this, I want to do this and this, I want to form this commission, I want to form this agency to fight corruption. But then they will come and tell you that this is not going to work because of kipengele hichi na hichi na hichi. Sawa sawa. But then you say, okay, tuendelee tu. I know it will not going to work. It is not going to work, but let's still. People will say, I tried. We'll come out and tell you, Mungala, see, I came out, I formed an agency to fight corruption, to fight graft. But what did you do, you people? Mulienda kotini, mukapinga.
Patricia, hatutafanya tu vitu unconstitutionally in the name of tunafanya vitu ndio, you know, we can fight corruption, or because one bad thing you do will set a precedent for other bad things. And even if you meant good, and we are happy that the president meant good, he's fighting corruption, and that is something that Kenyans have been asking him to do for the longest, and every other government that has been before him. So kudos for that. But why is it so difficult to find the right way to achieve it?
So that is the question. That's why I'm asking
So
you.
we have agreed that we need to get to Mombasa, for instance.
True.
We have very many ways of getting to Mombasa. We can fly, SGR, we can use the road, we can take a chopper. Sindio, why on earth would you why would you want to go through the bush, meet lions and elephants that will trample over you,
Sometimes
cheetahs that will feed on you, hyenas that will eat you?
You know why?
Wait.
Sometimes I may not be willing to go to Mombasa, but of course I agreed before you that we will go to Mombasa. That is the message I've been telling you here.
So what the court is telling the president, there is a right way that already exists.
Yes.
And what Dr. Gikenyi here is telling the president, there is an actual already existing path to Mombasa. And there's even a faster way of getting to Mombasa. You can
Use the
literally
flight.
take a flight, a chopper, and you'll be in Mombasa in 40 minutes. Why on earth do you want to go through a bush, a forest, meet animals, get scathed there, eaten, probably die, and lose everyone else on the way?
So na mimi nimekuambia the reason also inaweza kuwa ni kwamba you people mmenilazimisha kwenda Mombasa. I didn't want to go to Mombasa.
So there are two things here happening. That's what you're saying. Maybe it could be a diversion for other things to take place. But Kenyans si wajinga pia. Tulishapita stage by their theatrics. And that is why hii story ya theater imeletwa kitambo. Imeanza kutokezea. And let me tell you, there are players right now in this country of ours called Kenya that will literally point to the specific points in this movie and tell you, guys, this is where the plot twist is going to happen. This is where someone is going to be, kidnapped. This is where someone is going to be killed. And this is where the protagonist is going to meet with the antagonist. And the battle is going to take place in like this and like that. And the dragon is going to be slain, or the dragon is going to eat and burn the entire village. There are people who are now going to point those out, especially for us Kenyans who are unable to see through the facade. see through the skit, see through the play, because kuna watu wengine by the way wako hapo nje wanasema unaona venye nini zinafanyika, unaona venye wanachapa president EACC, yani anajaribu kusaidia Kenya, lakini kuna watu, and those people are there. They're there, and si kupenda kwao, it's just because they don't know better. And even me sometimes, I look at things and I'm like, when you say them, I start looking at them differently, and CT will say and I'll look at them differently, and Dr. Gikeny here will say, like yesterday Professor Herman Manyora was here and he said something about the system, and I started thinking about our politics differently. We need such people who open our eyes.
Yes.
Because them they already saw that, and they've studied other governments and they've studied other countries and they've seen it, and they can tell that this handout, but this play is specifically what happened in Cambodia, or this is what happened in Ecuador, or what, Yeah. So number one, as we watch this play unfold, and you have said it might be a trick, but as we look at it, I'm also looking at the fact that it might just be a situation whereby the president is just being failed in terms of advice. It's as simple as that. And of course, the president would come and say, Professor Makau Mutua did not advise me well, or Murkomen didn't advise me well, or
that could also be true.
He might not necessarily come out and say. So here what we're doing is speculation. Unless we get into the president's mind, we might never know. Unless ye mwenyewe kuja tuambie, my friends, unajua ule jamaa alinidanganya. We might never see that. So all I am saying is, perhaps the president needs to have better people around him. Watu wanasemanga, show me your friends and I'll tell you the kind of person you are.
Yes.
If you surround yourself with people who beat their wives, then we know for a fact unachapanga bibi yako pia. If you surround yourself with thieves, we know for a fact you're a thief as well.
And if you are not right now,
you might be, and
yes,
you will be. You're being groomed to be one.
Yes.
So if the president is being surrounded by experts who do not know nothing within their areas of expertise, then please fire them and find people who will actually drive this country to where it needs to be.
Sure.
Tuache kupoteza wakati hapa tukiibiwa mashilingi mawili matatu. And I think we need to actually have like a high ranking official one of these fine days, and especially those people who call themselves advisors, waje watuambie what advisory is this that they give the president. You're telling us something about NIS and Dr. Matiang'i.
Oh, yes. It's just a story on the Star newspaper, which says that close Gachagua ally brands former minister and NIS agent. Yeah. Major mistrust as Matiang'i Rigathi battle for top job. That is the story that is on page 4 and 5 of the Star newspaper. And maybe just to have a little read on what the writer has just said, is that big suspicion between Gachagua, Matiang'i rocks the opposition. And he says tension is mounting within the united opposition amid a growing suspicions of covert dealings among its top ranks. Yes, a friction between allies of DCP leader Rigathi Gachagua and the former Interior CS Fred Matiang'i now threatens to fracture the fragile unity holding the coalition together. On Tuesday, a close confidant of Gachagua shocked the opposition when he branded Matiang'i a state project and a covert NIS agent planted to destabilize the movement from within. Lawyer Degwa Jiru, a key ally of the former deputy president, lifted the lead on the simmering mistrust during a popular talk show on a certain TV. He openly questioned Matiang'i's loyalty to the opposition cause. Matiang'i is a state project. Gen Z said they are partless, leaderless, and then suddenly they started hyping up Matiang'i. Matiang'i is an NIS project, Degwa claimed, exposing the unease in the opposition.
Okay.
No, wait a minute. The mistrust, insiders suggest, may have slowed recent opposition activities, fueling speculation of widening cracks in the coalition. According to Degwa, planned opposition tours of Matiang'i, a Kisii stronghold, were frustrated by the former CS himself. Yes, when we were touring the country, we didn't get to go to Kisii because Matiang'i said he wasn't ready to return home. He didn't even come to Narok with us, the lawyer alleged. Then he came back from the US and didn't tell us, but went ahead to Meru, yet he denied us the right to go to Kisii. So these explosive claims have further deepened divisions in the opposition, splitting camps between those who view Matiang'i as a genuine political force and others who suspect he is undermining their cause.
So here's the situation, wanasemanga before haina kula watoto wake huwa anawa accuse of smelling like goats. That is just a proverb. City this morning unfortunately hajakuwa hapa na sisi atupatie proverb. But there's an African proverb. Inasemanga that before a hyena eats its young, youngs of course ni watoto.
Yes.
It accuses them of smelling like goats. Like
Bana hii
nyinyi mnanuka kama mbuzi kwa nini? Ama nyinyi mnakuanga mbuzi na mnajifanya nyinyi ni fisi. Anawanusa tena anasema hapana. Hapana, nyinyi ni mbuzi alafu
nyinyi ni mbuzi.
Alafu anafanya nini?
Na akiulizwa anasema kwamba no.
Yeah. So the opposition wants to spit out
Matiang'i.
Dr. Fred Matiang'i.
Yes.
And unfortunately it is the game of politics, and I actually want to call it politics going forward.
Yes.
Look, Matiang'i is popular and we can't get away from that. But also Matiang'i has got a lot of questions surrounding his candidature, and especially his CV as a potential president of this country. If it is true that he is an NIS project, which I believe he is not, but let's just go with lawyer Njiru here for a second and entertain his allegations. If the good doctor is a project of NIS and he's been sent to find out what Akina Kalonzo are planning and Maraga are planning and so on and so forth, then so what? Kwani nini wana plan yenye tunafaa kujua?
Have you forgotten what Nani said?
Ngoja kidogo. Ni nini akina Kalonzo wanaweza kuwa akiplan? Because I'm assuming if it is NIS, they're probably gathering information to find out if perhaps they have a good manifesto for the country, or if they are planning something sinister, maybe some kind of post-election violence, which I highly doubt any of these individuals want to be associated with that kind of nonsense. We came out of that and we wouldn't want to go back there. So I don't think Kalonzo, Maraga, Martha Karua, Natembea, wana plan
himself,
wana plan
the former DP himself,
yes, Gashagwa, wana plan ati kuchapa watu, kuua watu come 2027. It is very simple to know what these guys are planning just by watching their movements around the country and the things they will say at rallies, or rather in rallies. It is very easy to know whether these guys have got good intentions for this country or otherwise. And you know who's also intelligent to discern that? The Kenyan voter. The Kenyan voter is intelligent enough to know that Patricia Wayua is bad news for me.
Yeah, true.
Right now we are woke. Again, remember that word that keeps on coming in conversations?
Yes.
Kenyans are now woke.
We know better.
So no one will lie to us. Matiang'i or anyone else. No one is going to lie to Kenyans to get back to where they were in 2007 and 2008. Now, let's even say that Matiang'i is an actual mole of the NIS. There is nothing bad he will do by feeding NIS with information. Hakuna ubaya akifeed NIS information, and even if they were to give that information to the president, so that the president can have a counter manifesto or a counter measure, at the end of the day competition is actually good.
Well, I would just request you to look it deeply. Of course, we know NIS should be and is an autonomous institution. Sawa, independent institution. That's how it's supposed to be. And so many other institutions in our country. But is that what they are? That is the question I'll ask you. Is that what they are? And that is why I'm saying look at it from a deeper maybe perspective, don't just say that the information that maybe they might gather will just be for you, for your interest as a mwananchi. No. Okay, what I will say is that I will not underestimate any accusations. I'm not going to underrate any accusations being put here, because I know what as a country we are capable of doing. So, and again, if it is an opposition and maybe you feel like okay, huyu mtu pengine ako pale hivi spying on whatever you people are planning and doing so many things. But let me tell you, we have seen most of the time watu wakienda mikutano unasikia ilikuwa interrupted. At the end of the day you hear the organizers saying that hii ilifanyika ilifanywa na serikali. Have you not heard that?
Of course we've had.
Yeah, so I'm not saying that the government does that. I'm just saying that most of the time we've had these leaders coming out and saying it clearly that our meeting was disrupted by
If Dr. Fred Matiang'i is a mole of NIS, itajulikana tu, na kama lawyer Ndegwa akona evidence, tafadhali it is only fair atuambie that this is evidence I have against Dr. Fred.
But
for example,
he has quoted several reasons why he thinks so. That is because he said that there's the issue of the visit to Kisii, which he said that he's not ready to go home.
But that is also
okay. It's something that can also be understandable.
In politics there's a strategy. Unajua pia ukitaka ku marry a woman, you just don't appear at his parents' home just like umefika tu niaje nimekujia ule msichana wenu. There's a procedure. Unatumanga pia maboys wako waende wa survey, waende waangalie area kama barabara ziko poa, utakuja na gari na kaje, waangalie pia the economic situation of that family, ndio pia usiende kuji oversell ama undersell. These are tricks that men have been using for centuries. So it is the same thing with Dr. Fred right now. He's strategizing, and that is politics, by the way.
It's acceptable.
Unataka yani ukienda hiyo Kisii ama ukienda huko Nyamira, my friend, umeshaorganize watu kwa ground. Unajua unaweza fika na watu hata sijui unakuja and yet you're very popular in that region. But lazima uorganize, utapatana na watu happy, for example. And there's nothing wrong with organizing and mobilizing.
Well, even if it is true, it is not the first time we have moles in these political parties. Yeah. People sent with intentions, people spying with different intentions and purpose. So it's up to them. They know why they've got to that level.
I don't think Dr. Matiang'i is
it happens. Yeah, you don't think. And of course, most of the time, spies are the least people you expect that this person has been sent to do something. Somebody will come, laugh with you. Somebody will come, look like they are supporting you. Sawa. Somebody will come, look like they have ideas that they can use to support.
There are different ways of recruiting spies, I think, in my opinion. Even Ndegwa can be recruited to be a spy.
Even himself can also be a spy.
Maybe hata ende anakuja anasema ati Matiang'i ni spy, bana msitrust.
Na kumbe yeye ndio spy.
Ndio mumkaribishe, mumuulize bado ulijuaje? Acha nikwambie. Ukumbuki tukua Kisii Matiang'i akutaka kutokezea wewe, hiyo ni kawaida ya kweli. Then unamkaribisha ndani, anakaa na nyinyi hivi. Akishaingia anachukua SMS anasema I'm in.
But remember he's always been in there.
NIS.
No.
Like maybe anataka kuingia ndani kabisa. Unajua kuna ndani, but kuna ndani.
But remember these are our normal lawyers wa Gachagua huko.
But you know also, now that you've mentioned Gachagua, you know Gachagua is a big conspiracy theorist. Gachagua always has got this, whether they are true or not. Okay? Just because they are theories doesn't make them any less or more legit. They're just that. They're theories. And Gachagua has always Gachagua anakuanga na hizi theories. Wacha niseme na Kiswahili. Gachagua anakuanga na theories. For example, alisema stories za Al-Shabaab. Akatuambia stories za RSF. True or not, we don't know.
We don't, yes.
But anazisemanga, it's up to us now to look and think harder, deeper, and decide and make a choice as far as that information is concerned. So For now, Mimi, I'm just like, hapana, Fred is not a mole. And if he's a mole, sooner or later, itajulikana.
Are you the person who, the other day here, in some discussion, you were saying that you also doubt whether you felt like Gachagua is also a project of the government? Are you the one?
And
You said that it's an opposition project of the government.
Yes, there's actually someone I sat with, akatuambia, movie, ebu fikiria hivi, saizi, Rao ameingia gava. Rao was basically the what? The antagonist to any regime. Okay? And they used to give he used to give them hell. But now that he has joined the government, there's no one to give government hell. And hell here is in quotes. There's no one to give government hell. And it can only mean one thing. The government needed to create another antagonist and put him out there. Make him fierce. Make him, that lion with very huge canines that can bite. And that person has been embodied in the name of Rigathi Gachagua.
From a DP.
Yes. Because the end alikuwa mtu wa ndani kabisa wa preso. Then suddenly he is this bad person. Bwana. Watu si wajinga bwana. Tunajulizanga maswali bwana. Anyway, it's time for the news. When you do return, our guest will be in studio. I will introduce him once I see him. But right now though, here is the news with Winnie Maganga.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. The Social Health Authority has released 3.4 billion Kenya shillings to health facilities across the country to clear Social Health Insurance Fund claims covering a wide range of medical services. The funds are meant to settle hospital expenses for inpatient care, drugs, mental wellness, substance abuse treatment, critical care, and surgeries. According to the authority, the release is part of ongoing efforts to support hospitals and ensure patients continue receiving essential services without delays. In addition to this, SHA announced that 1.9 billion Kenya shillings has already been dispatched from the Primary Healthcare Fund to boost basic medical services. The Kenya Union of Post-Primary Education Teachers has accused the government of ignoring a worsening teacher shortage and delaying long overdue promotions. Speaking during a press briefing on Wednesday, UPET Secretary General Akelo Misori said the government's focus on SADSHOs during 2025 devolution conference was misplaced while classrooms across the country continue to suffer from severe understaffing. He warned that prolonged stagnation has demoralized teachers and undermined education delivery, adding that 130,000 teachers are stuck in the same job groups for years.
Teachers of this country cannot accept to be under MCAs, by the way. Yes. It is likely also to bring the ever-yawning inequality that we have experienced and marginalization that we have experienced in this country. And those are the key issues which are there. If we were to accept devolution, then it means that we are sure that we have defined education to be an equalizer, and therefore every county has the same standards of facilities.
The Inspector General of Police, Douglas Kanja, has described the much publicized arrival of former Deputy President and Democracy for Citizens Party leader Rigathi Gachagua from the U.S. as an ordinary affair. Speaking on Wednesday after joint dialogue with the United Nations Development Programme, Kanja says that officers are ready to act should his return trigger unrest, assuring the public of their safety. The former DP is expected to arrive in the country later today, according to his party.
Kuwasili kwake Bwana Rigathi kwetu ni kuwasili ya kawaida kama Mkenya mwingine ule anarejea injini. Kwa hivyo sisi hatuna shida hata kidogo. Akifika anafika na kuelekea kama wale wengine vile wanafanya, sio? Na Ningekumbusha zaidi, sisi wajibu wetu ni moja, kuona tunaweka usalama.
The government has added more fun zones across Nairobi to enable Kenyans who are unable to secure CHAN tickets to watch the match in real time. The announcement was made by Sports Cabinet Secretary Salim Mvurya on Wednesday when he toured Moi Sports Center Kasarani. Mvurya said the government, through FKF and the local organizing committee, has increased the number of official fun zones from 10 to 13. Ruiru, Dagoretti's Camp Toyoyo, and Baba Dogo are the new additions to the existing fun zones around Nairobi.
We have increased the fun zones, which also worked very well on Sunday. Right now, we have increased the numbers. We had around 8 fun zones on Sunday. Now we will have 13, across the city and many other areas. So we will still have a fun zone in Uhuru Park, in Archives, in Dandora, in Jacaranda, Clay City, Githurai, Kibra, the DC grounds. Here in Kasarani, we have the Lucky Sama on the other side of the field. But now we'll have Ruiru. Ruiru will be our new area. Then we have Dagoretti, Camp Toyoyo, and also Babadogo.
The UN Secretary General on Wednesday repeated his call for Africa to have a greater say in decisions that affect its future. Guterres emphasized the need to accelerate progress to achieve the sustainable development goals through investment, reforms, and partnerships. The UN boss lined out 5 areas for cooperation, starting with his long-standing push to reform institutions of global governance so that they reflect today's realities. He made the remarks during the 9th Tokyo International Conference on African Development in Yokohama, Japan. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast, curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast, your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights, Radio Generation.
That's right. This is the home of hard truth and bold insights. My name is Mungala Mbuvi. The time right now is 7 minutes past 8 o'clock. And we are about to get into our conversation for this morning. And our first guest today, he is a lawyer. I'm talking about none other than Willis Otieno. Willis Otieno, a very good morning to you. How are you doing?
Fine, thank you. I'm good.
Yeah, nice to see you.
Nice to see you too.
I have seen you all over these spaces called digital space. Nimekuona huko ukiongea na Kinobina, nimekuona ukiongea in other radio stations and TV stations. And finally, you've arrived at Radio Generation. We are actually very privileged to host you today.
I'm glad to be with you.
Yeah.
And for hosting me today.
Karibu. This is Patricia Waya. She's our other host, and she'll be helping me have this conversation with you.
Yes.
Let me just start by asking what we are seeing currently right now. Every newspaper in the last couple of days, the only headline has been around this multi-agency that the president has formed, and now the courts have come out to say that it's unconstitutional, it's illegal. In your opinion, is the president getting the right advice? Because he has very many lawyers with him, from Professor Makau Mutua to the Attorney General Nancy Odur to Murkomen, also a lawyer in his government, and many others that I might not even know right now. Why are they not telling him that, bro, hii unachoma ukienda nayo huko nje?
You know, the first thing that we must say is that William Ruto finds the constitution to be an inconvenience. They don't believe in it. And you mentioned Makau Mutua. Let's be honest and truthful to Kenyans. Who is Makau Mutua in our constitutional architecture?
Former dean, I think.
No.
Yeah.
In our constitutional architecture.
Okay.
He's a citizen,
Yeah.
distinguished scholar, that is given to him. But in our constitutional architecture, who is he? He passes off as a legal advisor.
Yes.
But the constitution already provides for the office of Attorney General, who is the chief legal advisor
to
of
the
the
government.
To the
government.
president, yes.
So, when Ruto appoints Makau Mutua to become his legal advisor, so he's telling you, I don't want to operate within the constitution. I want to create my own set of structures of government, separate from the constitution. And Makau Mutua takes that appointment, even when he sits in the room, to offer legal advice.
Already
Already,
from the position, it's
from the
illegal.
position is illegal.
Yeah.
So you expect him to give legal advice if the position he's holding itself is illegal. And you have the Attorney General, distinguished lawyer
Yep.
in her own right, sees an illegal advisor being appointed, and she keeps quiet. What can she do?
And
At
that's
that point, she
yeah.
says, I'll keep off from giving my legal advice. It seems legal advice will be premised on, what do you want to hear? So we'll give you legal advice to support based on what you want to hear. And Makau Mutua, sitting there, a distinguished lawyer, knowing that I've been illegally appointed,
earning a salary.
and positioning myself as the legal advisor to the president, when the constitution says the chief legal advisor to the government is the Attorney General. So it's like, okay, you've created this for me. I'll also give you legal advice that suits your needs. What is your needs today? So there's nothing. You cannot blame any of the lawyers who are around William Ruto. The problem is William Ruto himself.
But I can blame them for not taking personal responsibility, for example, to decline these appointments. I can blame them for not taking personal responsibility to resign once they feel and realize, by the way, hii position nimepatiwa ni ya ufala.
But you're expecting more from people who we are not sure about what their value, what their belief system is.
Okay.
Makau Mutua was previously I think he was in charge of the task force that looked into the TGRC. He's the one who gave that report. A distinguished scholar, that we must give it to him. But the moment now that he takes certain positions, you ask yourself, is he still the same one that we knew, or he has changed? Maybe he met his Damascus moment long time ago.
Okay.
But not the road to Damascus that we know. Maybe the door to Babylon. So he's now in Babylon.
So the question is, what happens to precedents that has been already set? Is it that we are normalizing illegality?
Yeah, but the beauty about it is this. I can sit here today and condemn it. And many other Kenyans. The fact that it's legal does not mean that it's now accepted. It may be accepted in the minds of legacy politicians, but it's not accepted in the minds of Kenyans. And that's why we have courts that are very robust in challenging in entertaining the suits, challenging these issues.
Yeah.
And when these orders come out, in fact, in the legal spectrum, we are not surprised, because it is what every lawyer knows. In fact, not even lawyer. Any Kenyan who understands the constitution, who can read the constitution, understands the law, knows that these are all illegalities. When now he appoints, that is multi-agency task force, or whatever it is, on corruption, the constitution already dedicates an entire chapter 6, on issues of
Leadership and
integrity. And even proceeds to set up a commission that is vested with responsibilities to deal with issues of corruption. And it is created as an independent constitutional commission. Independent from who? Independent primarily
From the
was from the executive. Now you set up an agency that now you want to bring ESCC to be just part of that agency, and then you give your office of president to chair it. Now they are the ones who are overseeing the fight against corruption. And even in the fight against corruption, who is the number one culprit? Where do they come from? Corruption primarily starts from a duty bearer demanding for bribes or being paid to perform his duty. That's number one. Number two, a duty bearer who has control of executive funds that decides to misappropriate those funds. So it's the executive. The bulk of corruption, in one way or another, you'll find that the purveyors are people within the executive. So when you make that same executive to chair an agency to oversee the fight against corruption, no, you're not serious. You cannot set up a committee of thieves
Yeah.
and then you expect the results to be different.
these individuals that head these agencies, for example, the EACC and DCI and NIS and ARA, none of them could come out and perhaps they don't understand their duties. None of them could tell the president, you cannot appoint me to that multi-agency thing because, number one, it is illegal. Don't they understand their roles?
They understand, but courage. Courage is a very rare currency in this country. Few people have it. And most of those who are serving in some of these offices. You ask yourself, what informed the desire by an individual to get into a particular office? Because that is the most important thing. If the overriding interest was public service, then they would turn down or call out some of this. But in majority of cases that we have in this country today, those who are occupying our public space, most of them are informed by individual interest.
Okay.
I want to earn. I want to be a big man.
I want to steal.
I want to steal. I want to... You know, there are people. There are these people in. There are people in Kenya. I always say, who for the last 30 years, in one way or another, have never removed a coin from their pockets to buy petrol. They've been. Their lives have been underwritten by the people of Kenya. They're used to the comfort. Somebody wakes up every morning. There's a car waiting for him at the door. He doesn't even know. He just knows I'm going to the office. He doesn't even know which route takes him to that office. So he does know I'm in my bed. I get up. I'm taken to an office. Mara seminar in Mombasa. Mara foreign trip.
Napata per diem.
Per diem. He doesn't. Actually, literally, they don't know. They just find themselves in places.
Yeah.
Whereas you and I
have
to plan myself, work for it. I know that
Yes.
if I'm leaving my home, I must pass by a petrol station and buy fuel worth 2,000. Hopefully, this will last me for 2 days. So now that I've bought fuel for 2,000, I cannot afford a meal lunchtime. I'll
have to skip lunch.
Ask madam to skip lunch or ask madam to pack for me lunch. I'm organizing my finances. To them, it's something that is very alien to them. They don't even know what a petrol station looks like. You'll find when they're in a petrol station, it's a government funded, they'll be dropped in the office, the person goes to collect fuel. Or even if they pass by, he's reading a newspaper.
He doesn't even realize.
He doesn't even realize why they've stopped. He doesn't even know the price of petrol. So those are the kind of people that you find in most of our public offices. People who are enjoying comfort. So you expect such a person to speak up or to stand down and say, okay, me, I cannot take this anymore. He has organized his life around public comfort.
Okay.
That is, so he's occupying that office.
Hataki kutoka kwa your comfort zone.
Hataki kutoka. So he's occupying that office not to serve the public, but his own personal interest. That is what we're facing.
Wakili, you are famous for a lot of things. Number one, being a running mate. The other thing that you're famous for is, prosecuting election petitions in court. But the most recent thing that people know you for is saying that elections shouldn't take place when we think they're supposed to take place. So that we can get that out of the way, just remind us that bit again. When should elections in Kenya be held according to you and according to your interpretation of our constitution?
According to our constitution, elections should be held in August 2026. According to our constitution, not according to me.
Okay.
And I say this guided by the following articles of the constitution: Article 136, Article 142, and Article 259 5C, which provides that, especially 136, provides that you conduct elections on the second Tuesday of August in every 5th year. So to look for the 5th year, you go to Article 259 5C, which tells you how to calculate years, count years. Years start from the date of the event until the eve of the corresponding date. So if the date of the event is 9th of August 2022, 1 year ends on the 8th of August 2023. That's the eve of the corresponding date. The 5th year will run from the 9th of August 2026 and ends on the 8th of August 2027. So once we find that 5th year, inside it, look for the second Tuesday in August. And that second Tuesday in August falls within the year 2026.
Okay.
And when we took this matter to the Supreme Court, we asked the Supreme Court for leave to admit this petition, to answer this question. And last week on Friday, the Supreme Court issued a ruling on our request for leave.
Yes.
And the Supreme Court said, okay, fine, if you want us to argue this case, this case, we don't have jurisdiction to give you leave. Just file it. Bring it before us. But they go further and discuss something that many Kenyans have missed out. Because IBC's response was that if the interpretation of the constitution that we are asking to be adopted is accurate, it will interfere with the word used is guaranteed 5-year terms. The Supreme Court in its ruling answered them and said there is no guaranteed 5-year term in the constitution. Because of transitional provisions, the president, member of parliament, governor, MCA, women rep, their terms in office cannot run for 5 years.
Okay.
Why? Because you are told to conduct elections inside the 5th year. Basic reading of that alone tells you that you look for the 5th year, conduct your elections. So that question has been answered, that there is no guaranteed 5-year term in our laws. So what then will be the basis for somebody to tell Kenyans, I am holding your elections in 2027? When 2027, from the 9th of August 2027, that is the beginning of the 6th year.
Okay.
The date that they've been suggesting, the 10th of August, falls outside the 5th year.
Okay.
It is in the 6th year. So we must be petty like that when it comes to the constitution.
Yes.
You must apply every dot, every comma, every T must be applied as it is in the constitution. We don't start looking for conveniences.
When you speak to your fellow colleagues, learned friends and all that, and especially people who sit in the courts, talking about judges, and this is not like on official capacity, do they tell you, but they will here there's a case, Ama, you're actually right? Because prosecution and debating it in court is a different story. But when you actually sit and you're probably talking over coffee, do they tell you by the, you're actually right?
In fact, the surprising thing in this is that many Kenyans, lawyers and non-lawyers, who've actually looked at this thing, some have called me. Some even initially will oppose me. But when they look at it and they draw the years, and I receive many calls that, hey, how was this hidden from us? Many people have told me, lawyers, distinguished scholars, have told me actually this is accurate. Even former judges, senior judges, told me this is actually the correct interpretation. Some even are the ones who brought to my attention the previous litigation on this question.
Right.
But they said the focus was at that time only on MCAs, who are the only people with a guaranteed 5-year term.
Is that so?
It is only the MCA who was told that you shall serve for a 5-year term under Article 177(1) of the Constitution. And when the MCA went to court to say, why are elections being called before my guaranteed 5-year term has lapsed, the courts told them no. The Constitution requires your elections to be held with others on the 2nd Tuesday of August in the 5th year. So invariably, you must also relinquish your remaining 5 or 6 months. So no MC. In fact, one thing we must all accept as Kenyans.
Yes.
Since the 2010 Constitution, nobody has ever served for 5 years. Nobody.
It's usually less.
Nobody has served for 5 years. But I don't know why in our psyche people assume that you're elected into office to serve for 5 years. And when I went reading, I looked at the last constitution, the old constitution.
Right.
Section 3 had provided specifically the president shall be elected to serve for a 5-year term. That was the history. So we used to have elections every 5 years, 92, 97, 202, 2013, 207, 2013. It was guaranteed 5 years in the Constitution, specifically spelled out. So I'm assuming that subconsciously, Kenyans having been taken through that process, through those motions, everybody assumed that those provisions were still applying. So when the word was written that on the 2nd Tuesday of August in the 5th year, many Kenyans did not read 2nd Tuesday of August in the 5th year. Many Kenyans in their minds simply read the 2nd Tuesday of August after 5 years. They read in the 5th year to mean after 5 years. But ask yourself, why did we choose the 2nd Tuesday of August? Very simple. Kenyans, in their presentations to the committee of experts, had
Yes.
said holding elections in December, because December was always towards the end of the 5th year, affects
A lot
our
of
December
things.
holidays.
Yeah.
Yes.
We want to be allowed to enjoy our festivities and our travel plans. People travel, some are going on family holidays, some are going to visit their relatives back in the village. So this affects we want to maintain our December holidays. Then the next question was, okay, when else can we hold elections? So bring it inwards. So the experts who are dealing with these things, and most of them were the ones who are leading this conversation, they were 2 Americans and a Canadian. Then they know 4-year terms in office.
Yes.
So when you tell them you don't want December elections, in their mind, then what's the next available date? We can't bring it in November or October because there are exams.
KCSE
And the entire
KCPE.
election infrastructure is run using schools. Right? As the most polling stations, 90% of polling stations are schools,
Yeah.
public schools.
So August is a holiday.
So they said August is a holiday. So we do it in August. So they brought it inwards. So they said on the second Tuesday of August, inside the 5th year. So my campaign is to sensitize Kenyans that let us now apply the constitution as it is. What is guaranteed is a 4-year term. That is guaranteed. 4 years is guaranteed, given to you. But as to when your next elections will take place, it is inside the 5th year. We look for the second Tuesday in that August.
Thank you so much for that clarification. Now, sorry, what will it take, because that's the conversation we want to have today, to dissolve parliament? A lot of people have been saying that, there are a lot of illegalities happening in parliament, the bribery issue, corruption, president brought it up, and so on and so forth. The whole dissolution of parliament, number one, do we need it, and what would it take?
Number one, the Kenyan people dissolved parliament on the 25th of June 2024. I don't believe that there's any Kenyan on the street who sits back today and says, I'm waiting to hear what parliament has said. That's an illegitimate body. Yeah, in the minds of Kenyans. Power resides in the people.
Okay.
And for you to exercise power, you are exercising a donated responsibility by the people.
True.
When the people breached parliament last year, in our eyes, parliament was dissolved. It's an illegitimate parliament. What we have are characters who are occupying space. But nobody in his right mind looks up to them as representing their interest. So we've dissolved them in our mind and hearts, they are dissolved. But on the legality, that's the question that I believe you're asking me.
Yes.
On the law, we have a court decision. The matter was litigated up to the Supreme Court, and an advisory was issued by the then Chief Justice David Maraga to the President on the 2/3 gender principle. If Parliament does not meet that 2/3 gender principle, then under the Constitution, the President needs to dissolve that Parliament. An advisory was issued to Uhuru Kenyatta by Maraga. He didn't act on it. Again, Uhuru Kenyatta was a very bad purveyor. He perpetuated bad governance in this country. In fact, part of these problems we have emanate from Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. So he refused to act when everything had been done, exhausted. So Parliament today sits, again, does not respect the 2/3 gender principle. What we will expect, if you asked me, is Martha Koome to issue a similar advisory to William Ruto. Follow up on the Maraga advisory. Dissolve this parliament because it does not respect the 2/3 gender principle. That is the only way you can dissolve parliament. In the old constitution, the president had the prerogative. It was actually a prerogative power to dissolve parliament. It doesn't exist today. He can only dissolve parliament based on an advisory issued by the Chief Justice. And that advisory can only be in respect to the question of whether parliament as constituted respects the 2/3 gender principle. This one does not. So why are we wasting time with them?
So why do you think the CJ has been hesitant in sending out that advisory?
I know there's been some ongoing litigations on the question. Probably that is what has made that to hold back. I think the litigation should be at the Supreme Court of Appeal at the moment. Maybe that is what has held her back. But in the ideal, all Kenyans can count. All Kenyans can do the summation of what constitutes 2/3.
Simple arithmetic.
It's very simple arithmetics. And everybody in town knows, Parliament does not respect the 2/3 constitutional principle. So why are we wasting time with an illegal body that has even turned itself to be a den of thieves?
Let me ask Wakili, how then would we, in an ideal situation, achieve that, the 2/3 gender rule? Because we have the whole issue of even creating the woman position, which is an affirmative position, was to ensure that we can inch closer to that one. How is it achievable?
It is achievable. There are three different ways that you can achieve it. Number one, we can try to do civic education to the electorates and encourage more women to contest for seats. That has been a proposal. Number two, you can decide to say we are creating special seats or quotas, that in every election you can cluster counties into each county. You cluster that certain seats in a particular county are going to be contested by women,
and women alone.
Women alone. But the problem normally with that is that you end up finding a situation where the voters also have a right to
decide
who they want. And if you have a constituency, why are you saying my constituency can only be contested by women? When Article 38 gives every Kenyan the right to contest for any public office.
Exactly.
My best approach, which I believe we should have adopted from the beginning, we should have adopted what we call the mixed member proportional representation system, which is an electoral system to the extent that you say you have these members who are elected in the single member constituencies. Then you give a voter, so the voter is given 2 ballots. One ballot is for his constituency rep, one ballot is his political party. So you create specific seats where you say, parties, they're called now party lists.
Okay.
So you vote for political. So you say these seats will be filled by party list. So we decide to say party lists will be 80, or a third of the number of elected representatives. Then each political party participating in the election will give a list, ranking list of women who, when they qualify for seat allocation, those women will be deemed as elected. So Safina Party, my political party, will give a list of let's say even 120 ranking.
Yes.
If we win 50% of the party's list votes, we get 50% of the women on our list nominated
as parliamentarians.
And this is one way where you'll end up having the numbers automatically. But then there is an ongoing conversation which we must consider, is that we did set the number of members of parliament in the constitution. To achieve the party list system, it will mean that now we have there are 349. You remove all the 47 women rep. Then now you create special positions, for example, let's say 100. So parliament will end up having almost 400
plus.
So probably this will be a time to say we should actually reduce the number of elected members, the constituency elected members. So you can
by
decide
reducing
to
the number of constituencies.
Reduce them even to 200. Then you say 100 will be specially elected. Now the number will be 300.
Won't that then again be killing the whole spirit of devolution? Because devolution was to bring leadership closer to the people.
Parliament is not an organ of devolution. That's one mistake we make in Kenya. Parliament is about representation. Organs of devolution remain the counties and the county assemblies.
Okay.
This is now about representation of national interest at the national level. Senate is an organ of devolution. That is why even the composition of the Senate does not take into account the question of the quality of the vote. You'll find a senator for Nairobi elected by almost 1.4 million. In fact, the registered voters in Nairobi are around 2.4 million voters. But you also have another senator elected from Lamu who comes in around 60,000 voters. When they end up at the Senate, they all have one vote.
One vote.
Because at the Senate, we are not looking at numbers. We are looking at protecting the interests of devolved units.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so now, explain to us the legality of some of the businesses that the House has conducted so far. We have seen the impeachment of the former DP president by the same parliament that you're saying is illegal.
Yeah, it is illegal. What remains is the declaration. So normally there's the presumption that before the declaration is made, that act which is done by the body still remains, it's assumed to be legal until that time when the declaration is made. So they are still legal in office, as I said, legally. But legitimacy, who recognizes them? Nobody. So yes, they can conduct legal business, but do they get the sanction of the people? They do not. That is why for the last 2 days, Kenyans are enjoying the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what will it take to dissolve this parliament?
For at this point, the only way you can dissolve parliament is through an advisory from the Chief Justice. That is the only person who has the power to issue an advisory to the president. Once the question of two-thirds gender principle is attained, that parliament can be dissolved. Barring that, you can only have again individual recall petitions to recall individual members of parliament.
So let's assume in an ideal world, we wake up and we find that the president has dissolved parliament.
He
What
cannot.
next?
No, he cannot, unless he's advised by the Chief Justice.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
So
in an ideal
if,
world,
if it happens, what next? We are going to have Fagia water in this country. Do you know what Fagia water is? All these legacy politicians,
no one comes back.
they'll all be swept away. Because what do they represent? What they represent and what the people desire are at variance. You had one member of parliament saying the other day that we've done everything for you, William Ruto. You passed all your bills. We passed your finance bill. We passed your shift share nonsense. We did all of this. Then this is what you do to us. That mindset. When you are sitting as a parliamentarian, to whose benefit are you passing a bill? Is it to William Ruto or to the people of Kenya?
It should be to the people of Kenya.
Yes. So, that confirms to you the disconnect. They are not representing us. They are representing William Ruto. Now they're having a bedroom fight. All we can do is to peep through the window and cheer them. Kanyaga shingo. Piga teke. Bada napumua.
Kanyaga kabisa.
Kanyaga kabisa. That's all we can do. But the Kenyan people are demanding, they are yearning for change. And this time, it is not the cosmetic change that we are used to. It is now a change in terms of the quality of leadership that we are going to have. That it is about the public good, the common good. Are you there to serve the people or to serve William Ruto? Or your own personal interest? So, I believe the next contest is Fagia what? Let all of them go.
So, but my question also is, why do Kenyans have to wait until, for example, that ideal situation that Mungala is talking about, like if today an advisory has been issued to the president to dissolve the parliament, you've just indicated that Kenyans will not vote these people back again. Don't you think so far Kenyans already have learned their lesson, and maybe in the next coming elections they are going to do a lot of changes?
Of course, they've learned their lessons. Wajinga walisha Kenya. They used to be fools in Kenya, but they don't exist anymore. They only exist in parliament and parts of the executive. So, when the time comes to choose, the kind of scrutiny that leaders are going to be subjected to is going to be higher than before. And we do hope that that will be the actualization of the revolution that is ongoing in this country. Because we are still in a revolution.
Yeah.
A revolution that rejects the old order and seeks to create a new Kenya. And is led by our young people. All revolutions in the world are led by young people. Dedan Kimathi was in his 20s when he went into the bush. The likes of Raila Odinga, Orengo, Matiba, Rubia, they were young people below 35 when they started their agitation. Paul Muite. So we're in good company.
Yeah.
Okay.
With the young people.
We sat here yesterday with Professor Manyora, and one thing that came out from that conversation is that he was saying we as Kenyans, we really do not have control over some of these things, and especially when it comes to leadership. He said that the system always decides what it needs, and I'm sure you understand what the system is. So, and he was saying that we don't really have that much influence we think we have. And even actually, let me put it into perspective. He used football as an example. And he said that sooner or later, FIFA will need to let an African team get to the very top and perhaps even win the World Cup. Why? Because people need to feel like this actually works, like anyone can win the World Cup. For a very long time, Africa has probably, I think, one team got to the very semi-finals, and then after that, hiyo story ikaisha. So you were saying that there needs to be that moment very soon, or people will lose faith in FIFA and in world soccer. But he also said that, look, who's controlling soccer in the world right now? And to be honest, it is the West, specifically Europe. They're the ones who've set up the system. They're the ones who've made football what we see it being today. And that is why they have interests in making sure that Western countries win football. So, and he was saying that the system sometimes allows, I can't remember the word that he used specifically.
Those are conspiracy
So,
theories.
so do you think that perhaps the system is already rigged against Kenya?
Let me tell you.
Yes.
This system is a myth. At the end of the day, everybody goes back home. And he goes back to a family, goes back to a community. He goes to live like any other Kenyan. Whether you are the head of NIS, you are the president, you are the minister, you are the IBC chair, whatever, your IBC officer, everybody lives at home. And you exist in the community. You know the feelings of the community that you live in. You interact with Kenyans. You're just a human being at the end of the day. So this system is a myth created by legacy politicians to think that there's somewhere that people sit to concoct, to plan, to control. There's no
Illuminati.
such Illuminati. There's nothing like that. If that system existed, June 25th will not have happened. Yeah. That system that you talk about was scared shit. They couldn't control. So it is just something that is used to subconsciously control you. A narrative. I do believe that no system exists that you can talk about that controls all our affairs. Uhuru Kenyatta was president the last election.
Yes.
And I remember some of the Azimio campaigners used to say, we have the deep state and system. Tutafanya ile kitu. Look, where are we? What did the system do with hiyo kitu? Professor himself didn't see how Raila was not going to be declared.
Yeah.
Because if the system existed, people believed that the election was just but a motion. We're just going through the motions. The campaign is just but a motion. We are going through just meeting conveyor belt, ticking the boxes, and then we go and coronate Raila. Wait, who was coronated? Didn't happen. So there's nothing like system. System is the people.
We are the algorithm.
It is the people. And once a people have decided on a particular course, I assure you, there is no system, deep or shallow, that can surmount the power of the people. They cannot withstand it. They cannot stop it.
He went ahead and gave Obama as one of those things that the system decided to put in place as the president of the US.
There's nothing like Obama campaigned hard, my friend. And if you look at it, maybe unless you say, ultimately Obama was voted for by popular vote.
Yeah.
He won both the popular vote and the electoral college. It's not like he was losing somewhere and then somebody was playing machinations like Bush and gone to one that makes him president. No. That man worked hard. The main thing that we must answer, not with respect to Obama, is that he identified what he wanted to be. And maybe he worked with people who understood the American political system, the people of America. What type of a person will we need from the black community to become a president? So Harvard profile, first black editor of Harvard Law Review, working with the local community organizer, first junior senator, Illinois, right? And even his parentage, his lineage. Mother is white, father is black,
Kenyan.
is Kenyan. This one is non-threatening. We can now go out and come send him out because there's a constituency in America that now does not hold on to this black hatred that we want to tap into. But so we also want to present a soft black man. If, for example, Jesse Jackson contested, I mean, he had tried before, But because of his previous campaigns, maybe there are people who could have seen him as threatening
Okay.
to that establishment. So Obama worked hard. All they did was they just mapped the country and understood this guy has strengths that we can market and people will buy. That's why people voted for him. There is no system that sat down and said we are going to allow Obama. They didn't allow.
Yeah.
The fight between Obama and Hillary. Then Obama and McCain. It was war. So also even FIFA, when you are telling me that FIFA will allow, FIFA will not allow any African country to win the World Cup.
You have to fight for it.
You will fight for it. And you are telling me a country like Croatia that has never won the World Cup. They have the best footballers in this particular season. They are facing an African country. They are going to say, okay, well, let's allow these Africans to win it to make the world happy. Nothing. The African countries must work hard
Well, I
if you want to win, and you win on merit.
Okay, you've really defended the myth, that myth of a system. There's no deep state. There's nothing like a system
actually
or
dispelled
deep.
the myth. Yeah.
Yes, and maybe we sometimes had Jeremiah Kioni, one of the leaders of Jubilee, political leaders, and then he said there's something called deep state. Yeah, whatever you are dispelling, or the system. And again, looking back at what like our country has been through, look at the previous elections that the country has ever had. Yeah. And to be specific, is it the 2007? Yes, the 2007. What would you say about that?
The 2007 elections was a very straightforward case. The campaign was premised on 41 against 1. That was the election question. By the time you go to the ballot, that question was not there. It was 40 -1 -1. Because Kalonzo had left. And at the point of Kalonzo departing, the contest became like this, tight. Yeah. And the Kriegler report looking at the election confirmed that yes, there was rigging here. There was ballot stuffing. Kibaki was stuffing. Some Raila zones also was stuffing. When election is like this, now it's reduced to who stuffs more or most in his zone.
So there's no system
If Kalonzo had, for example, walked into Kibaki straight away, Kibaki will have won that election hands down. If Kalonzo had stayed with Raila, straight away, the system could have helped Kibaki maybe rig 100% of his strongholds, and he will have lost miserably. Yeah, because the margin will have been, even if you get 100%,
from your stronghold,
you cannot get match the numbers on this other side. So in my view, it was just a question of, yes, there was irregularities on both sides, but this side was doing it more. It's like saying, will you expect William Ruto in 2022 to get 200,000 votes in Kisumu? It's impossible. Who conducts, even, can the system give William Ruto in 2022 200,000 votes in Kisumu? They could not. Why? Because you'll find in the polling stations in Kisumu, there's an PO, there's a clerk, there's a policeman. Who comes from where? The local community. Is aligned to the feelings of that local community. That is the system. By the way, the system is those people I'm telling you. Is aligned to the feelings of the local community.
Yeah.
That PO will not allow William Ruto's votes to be topped up in their polling station. But that same PO can allow Raila's votes to be topped up in their polling station. Why? Because the election environment in that region at that time was 100%. This is where we are voting. So if, for example, and that's how they do ballot stuffing, you have only 200 people have cast their ballots in a polling station. 400 have not come up. Election officials sit down and say, now, our preferred candidate's votes cannot slip. Let's top up for him. Let's declare that he's gotten 550, not 200. That is what the system can do. That's what a system is. That system is the people of Kenya.
So the system is the people.
It is the people of Kenya themselves who, when they are given election materials, they decide, here where we are, we know so and so is not here. If he was here, we'll have voted for our preferred candidate. Let's cast the vote for him.
Yeah.
But not somebody in Nairobi somewhere in a boardroom manipulating the numbers. That is a myth. Don't fear these people.
Okay.
We know what their capacities. Like now, if you went regional, which is really a brutal stronghold today in the country? The man needs 9 million votes minimum. Where will he get them from? So fine, you want the system to help him. So where will it get it? The 9 million votes from?
Yeah.
Tell me from where? So you think he will go to Central here, go to Githunguri, and he declares that William Ruto has gotten 130,000 votes from Githunguri constituency? It's not possible. Even the Arrow cannot make that announcement. So where?
Willis, on your social media, I'm looking at your X account here. Raila Odinga and ODM have wittingly or unwittingly assumed co-ownership of Ruto's failures. In politics, perception is everything, and today the public reads his burdens as theirs. They now face a stark choice: sync with Ruto or chart a separate course before it's too late. Kindly tell us what your thoughts were as far as writing that tweet is concerned.
The moment ODM did their 10-point agenda with William Ruto and seconded experts, they took ownership of the failed Kenya Kwanza administration. So as it is, where we are is just for them to wait to live with the consequences of their choices. And the verdict is out. The Kenyan people have made up their minds that this administration does not represent their interest. ODM for the longest time had championed itself as a party that stands with the people. So they have to explain to the people when the time comes, since you've been our number one champion, why did you go and sit with the oppressor? We were on a journey to Canaan. How did you end up with Pharaoh in Misri? When we were at the when we were at the shores of River Jordan, ready to march into Canaan, you took us back to Misri. When we had almost finished Pharaoh. They'll have to explain that. But that is ODM's problem. Me, I'm a Safina member. Safina member is about socio-economic justice to the people of Kenya.
But remember, Moses also took the Israelites around and around for 40 years.
Yes.
And he himself never got to Canaan.
Joshua did.
Yes.
And Caleb.
Yeah.
Jimmy and Willis.
But now okay.
So, but in this particular instance, when Moses has taken people back to what Moses never did, at no point, even as they were walking for 40 years, somebody said they were so lazy they were walking only 1 meter per day.
Yes.
If you calculate the distance from Misri to Canaan, those people walked, 1 meter per day. At no point did Moses ever take the people back to Pharaoh. Even when Pharaoh came with his chariots pursuing the Israelites, Moses never said, let's stand back and make peace with Pharaoh. Moses said, we march forward.
Kambaya.
Tuendelee tu. Run. We are running towards Canaan. Until the Lord saved them by swallowing Pharaoh's chariots. So, but in this particular instance, they are going to Canaan. They had reached the River Jordan.
Yeah.
Canaan was yonder. But now, they have sent experts to work with Pharaoh.
Yeah.
And what are the experts doing? And Pharaoh had said, I will whip you with the whips of scorpion. Double their punishment.
So that is what is happening right now.
Pharaoh is what led Kenyans to the streets was the trigger of the finance bill. It was the economy.
Yes, it was.
Has the economy gotten any better today than it was last year? It's gotten worse. More taxes, more charges, more levies. Whip you with whips of scorpion. Right? And the person who is superintending other is an ODM expert. Still announcing.
So let me ask you, Mngala, because you did ask that question.
Yes.
Do you think the Raila Odinga really cares about what you are just saying there? Because it is not the first time. Well, in the previous government, it is himself who got into the mixed with Pharaoh, right? This time round, alituma his people.
But yeye mwenyewe ako ndani pia.
Yes, yeye yuko ndani. And most of the time in those previous governments, he has always come out and said that I was not in the government.
Yes.
See, most of the time that
Yeah,
is what
he's always
should.
said
He has
like
never owned.
that I have.
He has
Yes.
never owned the problems
So the
of any
failures,
government.
yeah, the failures of that administration, I am not part of them.
But you see, you're talking of Raila Odinga, the individual. But there's also a political party called ODM.
Yes.
Who are the number one cheerleaders of Kenya Kwanza today? It's ODM members.
Yeah.
In fact, some of the rank and file members of ODM, senior ranking members, have turned, they're even more Jubilee, more Kenya Kwanza than Kenya Kwanza. They are more sycophantic in their defense of a failed regime.
Yeah. I hear Junet Mohammed sometimes and I'm like, is this the same guy I knew from last year before all this nonsense?
And that's why I say they must live with their consequences. So Raila can say, me, I'm not in government. Fine, factually, he's not. But ODM as a political party
He's in government.
is in bed. They're right in the bedroom. So, and it's their right, but nobody should even fault ODM. I don't fault ODM for joining government or working with William Ruto. That is their right. We must respect the Article 38 rights of every Kenyan, including the right to make a wrong decision. So they've made their decision,
Yeah.
which may be wrong in our eyes, but it's right in their eyes. It's their right. So allow them to continue. But everybody must be able to live with these consequences. Actually, we may even be the ones who are wrong, and they're right. Yeah. And people will say, this was the best administration. That's what they're hoping.
Yeah.
But where I see it as a Safina party member, I don't fault another political party for making their political moves. Mine is to focus on the people's welfare, common good. That is our campaign. How to economically liberate the Kenyan people.
Tell us about 2027 from Safina's perspective. You've just told us that it stands for what?
So Safina party,
The ideals that you people are projecting.
economic liberation. As we are purely about the economy. It's about people empowerment, and we must change the game. Our governance should now focus on the people. It must be people-centered. That is what Kenyans desire.
Yeah.
That's what Kenyans need. And when I talk of people-centered, I mean this. Number one, the greatest chain on our neck is debt. Odious debt. Money taken illegally in the name of the people of Kenya. 70% of your revenue goes to debt finance. This year, you are going to pay 2.2 trillion of your revenue collections, tax, is going to debt finance. Your projected collections will be 2.5 trillion. So you collect 2.5 trillion, you are paying 2.2 trillion in debt. Does it make sense?
Of course not.
Doesn't make sense. So as we are saying, we'll open the debt book, and we are not going to pay any debt illegally taken. If we don't pay, this is what it means. We are 2 trillion richer. What could have gone to those illegal debt funders? See, we have it.
Are you
So
saying
what
that?
happens
Are you
to-
saying that if Safina wins presidency, that to leave him Madeni?
Odious debt, illegal debt. Safina will be a party of the rule of law. We will not pay any illegal debt.
So what happens to the
took
country?
What happens? No.
Do people know this?
No. I want you to tell everybody who cares to listen. If ever there was money taken illegally in the name of the people of Kenya,
yes,
without following the laws of Kenya,
yes,
Safina party is a party of the rule of law. We shall not pay that illegal debt. Eurobond 1, for example, I'll tell you, was $2 billion US. 1 billion can be accounted for 650 to pay an old loan, 650 million, an old loan, 350 million, central bank account. That one we can say, we can account for. 1 billion left JP Morgan Chase to an account in Qatar, someone's private account. At you are in office, you are telling us to pay that 1 billion lying in someone's account in
Qatar. Ndio uko nayo.
Mtu ako na hiyo pesa tunamjua. Account is there.
Tunamjua mtu.
Of course, it's known. The company is known. So there are safe transfers. We shall not pay as Safina party.
And what shall you do to those people who took that loan?
We will tell the people who gave them that money.
Fuata nini?
Between the two of you.
Mjuane.
Sisi, what we know, we'll have saved the people 2 trillion. What does that mean to you? It means this. Primary education, secondary education.
Sorted.
Is 100% free.
Sorted, yeah.
Healthcare.
Shift share nonsense that is running, forcing Kenyans to pay here, CG. It is costed at 170 billion. We have 2 trillion, my friend. Running the healthcare here, what Shifsha is costing is 170 billion. So you have 2 trillion. So it means healthcare is free.
Hiyo hata tusiongelele, hiyo ishasotiwa.
It's sorted. Free. I'm talking of, you just walk into any health facility.
And you get treated.
You get treated for any category of disease.
Whether unajifungua,
uko na cough, uko na cold,
anything.
Cancer,
yes.
Free. Government has taken over the responsibility of healthcare services. We are
how comes we are not hearing more?
Then we go further.
Yes.
You are paying VAT on fuel at 16%. The VAT contribution to our budget, they only collect 400 billion. Why should we have VAT on fuel? See, we are 2 trillion richer. We don't need now to pay the legal debt. Give people relief. Remove that VAT on fuel. 16% off. The VAT component of it off 16%.
Okay.
Let the Kenyan people feel instant relief. So Safina Party, we have solutions and we've thought this through.
Yeah.
And what is the instrument that legacy politicians use to undermine the people? The police. This is what we believe in. In every police station in this country, there shall be a local oversight committee constituted by the people who reside around in the vicinity of that station.
Like what the US does with sheriffs.
And now at the OCPD level, they'll be elected. Every OCPD.
How they do it in the American
system.
Sheriffs.
Yeah, the sheriff system. Every OCPD will be elected by the people. So that the OCPD is responsible. Let me just finish this. I have no time.
Yes.
Every OCPD will be responsible for security in his zone. So that there will be no Subaru boy, no balaclava clad person who comes from Fiji where to operate, to abduct and to kill people in his vicinity. If they exist, see, the people elected you. They'll come to you, OCPD. You are responsible for our security. Who are these ones? What have you done to stop this? Power in the hands of the people.
Are you free next week? Utakuja hapa tena, si ndio? Please do. Now this one now we'll just talk about Safina and the manifesto. Me, I really want to hear it because it sounds really good.
We can plan.
Yes, for sure. Utakuja.
We'll agree on a date.
We'll abduct you if you don't come.
No, I'll any day before Friday.
That has been sorry. That has been Lawyer Willis Otieno. We're just talking about the constitution of our parliament and what needs to happen as far as the legality of whatever is happening there is concerned. And he has promised us that anytime before Friday next week, he shall be here. Right now, though, let's have the news with Winnie Maganga.
Radio generation, the sound is fine. Pump it up, turn it high all the time. Let the music move you, let's sway. Radio G's got your jam all day.
Radio Generation, the home of urban soul. This is the Radio Generation News.
Good morning, I'm Winnie Maganga. Stanbic Bank has announced the appointment of its chief executive, Dr. Joshua Oigara, as the new regional chief executive for East Africa. Oigara's appointment takes effect 1st of September 2025, pending regulatory approval. Oigara, who has served as the chief executive of Stanbic Bank Kenya since December 2022, will take on the additional regional role while retaining his current position. He takes over from Patrick Moihere, who concludes his 5-year tenure as regional chief executive on 31st of August 2025, but will remain chief executive of Stanbic Kenya Holdings. The government has tightened rules at the Masai Mara Game Reserve following a viral incident involving tourists. Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary Rebecca Miano says new measures will ensure visitors' safety and protect the world-famous wild-beast migration. The move comes after tourists were filmed leaving their vehicles and blocking wild-beast crossing points during floods at Purungat Gate. Under the new rules, more rangers will be deployed to critical migration routes. Tour operators will face closer scrutiny, and signage will be put up across the reserve to guide visitors. Interior Cabinet Secretary Kipchumba Murkomen has responded to Chief Justice Martha Kome's recent comments regarding cyberbullying of judicial officers. He said that bullying is a widespread problem affecting all public servants, including the president. Speaking in Nyandarua County during the launch of Grassroots Security Engagement Program, Murkomen said the CJ was right to be concerned, but emphasized that judges are not alone in facing online harassment.
Muliona Chief Justice jana akisema kwamba judiciary is being bullied. Ati we are being bullied so that we make decisions in a particular manner. Ni ile tu hatujapata forum kama hii. Mimi nangojea forum yenye tutakaa wote na Chief Justice. Hakuna watu wanakuwa bullied kuliko wanasiasa. Hakuna mtu Kenya is bullied than the president. Ukiona saa hizi kwa social media, unapata msichana mdogo anatusiwa kwa Twitter, ametusiwa kwa TikTok, wameenda huko kubully young girls. Police officers, they are being bullied all the time on social media. Majina yao ikiwekwa hapa, hata wengine wanaambiwa tunajua mtoto yako wako shule gani.
Senate Speaker Amason Kingi has dismissed allegations of bribery and extortion within the Senate, stating that no formal complaints have been filed against any legislator. Speaking on Wednesday, Kingi said the Senate leadership had reviewed the accusations made by President William Ruto at the 2025 devolution conference last week and noted a lack of specific details. The president had claimed that MPs and senators solicited bribes from government officers appearing before parliamentary committees.
The leadership of the Senate has also noted that the allegations have not included material particulars, including the specific individual senator against whom the allegations of bribery are made. Senators are called to a very high office of responsibility and accountability and are required under the Constitution to live up to a very high standard of integrity and accountability. This is the thrust of a number of provisions of the Constitution, including Articles 1, Sub-Article 3, and Articles 10, as well as Chapter 6 of the Leadership and Integrity of State Officers. Senators take and subscribe to an oath of office.
Police at Jomo Kenyatta International Airport have arrested Cameroonian national Babono Wasso for attempting to leave the country without court approval. Babono is facing charges of defrauding a woman of 3.5 million shillings in fake gold deal was intercepted on August 20th while boarding a flight to the Philippines. Prosecutors told the court he had obtained a new passport despite being required to surrender his travel documents as part of his bond terms. Senior Principal Magistrate Dolphina Alego ruled that he had willfully breached his bond conditions, cancelled his bond and ordered his detention pending the fraud trial. Large numbers of Palestinians are continuing to flee Gaza after the Israeli military became the first stages of a planned group offensive, officials in the city say. Israel's troops have established a foothold on the outskirts of the city, which is home to more than 1 million Palestinians. After days of intense bombing and artillery fire, it has prompted UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres to renew calls for an immediate ceasefire to avoid the death and destruction an assault will inevitably cause. And that's the truth on Radio Generation. Good morning. I'm Winnie Maganga.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are those of the guests and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio Generation. Radio Generation assumes no responsibility or liability for the interviewee's views. This is Radio Generation. In the beginning, there was morning radio. But now there is Radio Generation's The People's Breakfast, curious and bold, getting facts from the shadows.
That's what it is.
Now, as the city wakes and secrets stir, a bright new voice shines. The People's Breakfast, your morning, your voice, your journey. Good morning.
Good morning, my neighbor.
Welcome to the home of hard truths and bold insights, Radio Generation.
A very good morning to you. Welcome to Radio Generation. The time right now is 7 minutes past 9 o'clock. My name is Mungala Mbuvi, and in studio we do have Patricia Wayoa, but most importantly, we have Adan Mohammed, aka Kiongozi. He is a candidate for Banissa constituency by-election under the ticket of DCP. And the conversation today is about the opposition. Is opposition in Kenya strong enough? That's the question we're asking, and we're probably hoping that he will give us an insight to that. But first of all, Adan, karibu tena sana to Radio Generation.
Asante sana ndugu Mbuvi.
Yes. DCP, you are now running for the position of MP in Banissa. Where is Banissa? Maybe for those who are wondering, Banissa uko ni wapi?
Thank you so much, my brother Mbuvi, and pleasure to be in Radio Generation studio. Banissa is in Mandera County. It's one of the constituencies in Mandera County. It borders the north. It borders Ethiopia.
So you're literally at the border of Ethiopia?
At the border of Ethiopia.
Wow.
So it's one of the farthest, I think in terms of kilometers, one of the farthest constituencies in Kenya. And probably one of the most remotest too, but it's never been highlighted.
Yes.
Of course, and I'm sure the listeners and you doesn't know even where Banissa is. That's why you are asking.
I know there's a by-election in Banissa because I know there are about 20 constituencies or positions that the IBC is organizing for. But it's just that I've never if you ask me to visualize Banissa, I wouldn't. I can visualize places in Kiambu, I can visualize places in Murang'a, in Kitui, but for Banissa I have really never visualized. But I like the fact that you've said you're literally at the border, and also it is worth noting that you were actually a contender in the last election.
Yes.
You've just told us that you ran on an ODM ticket.
Correct.
Why have you now jumped ship and you're running on a DCP ticket?
It's a very interesting question. ODM is among the largest party in Kenya. And initially the ideals of ODM has been people-centric, and it's been pushing for the people's probably things in the country. But now, since Kenya Kwanza took over, and when they joined the government, they decided to keep quiet, and as many people say, decided to observe table manners. And some of us young leaders who think that there need to be a strong opposition in this country, who push the government to do good for people, because at the end of the day, the essence of political party, an opposition is to push for what the people need. Then I decided to look back. And is it that the ODM, which I believed in, now changed and now at the table and eating with the government instead of pushing for the people? So I said, let me look for a credible party, which are people-driven, which defends the people. And after shopping around, I found it fit that DCP is that party which stands with the people. I know with the history will always serves us right.
Yeah.
The reason why the deputy president was really impeached, one of the reasons is that when the young people rose and asked for what they want, the deputy president, instead of even protecting his position, he stepped up and stood with the young people. That's why he's impeached. So when I looked at the history of which party is, I found that DCP has an energy. The energy and the party which stands with people.
I'm curious though, because you could have taken any other party that is in opposition. We have Jubilee, we have hii ingine inajulikana kama Wiper, kuna ile mpya ya Martha Karua na zingine nyingi. But you chose DCP specifically. You said you had shopped around. Someone would say that perhaps the reason why you are with DCP is because DCP right now is very vocal, very popular, and obviously by the fact of the noise that the former DP is making, and that would actually give you a boost, so to speak.
In this country, and especially Banissa, we really need a very, very strong opposition. Naturally, when we elect our members of parliament from northern Kenya, they quickly align themselves with the government. And when you are close to the government, of course, you always shy away from criticizing the government and you keep quiet. The reason why I joined DP is I want to be that strong voice. I want an opposition. You know, when you are in a position, you can critique the government positively and also push for development. So I shopped around, yes. Kalonzo Musyoka is one of the leaders we always admire, and I sat with him at length. But there's no oomph in Wiper, and what we want is an opposition which can say when the truth is truth and when to push hard. Yeah. And I saw my party leader,
Rigiji,
is the most truthful person. Because when I sat with him and I talked to him one-on-one, I did not even listen to his words, but I listened to his heart. I was convinced by his heart that he means well for this country, and he means well for the people of Banisa. That's why I made a decision and decided to join DCP, which is now the face of opposition. Is the party which now is 2-month-old party, but now any corner of Kenya or even the world, when you ask which is that opposition party in this country, even in the Banisa people will tell you it's DCP.
It's DCP. Yeah. Wow.
You know, for after the formation of the DCP, it has been accused of being tribal. It has been accused of being tribal, by the way, and they just say that these other people who are in that party, it's just an icing. It's not necessarily that this party is for all people.
Let me tell you the truth, my brothers and the listeners to this big radio. DCP is not a tribal party. I went to DCP personally after looking around. When you look at the chairman of the party, it's not from Mount Kenya, it's from Masai land. Look at the Secretary General of DCP, it's a young man from Kisii. The deputy party leader is from Western Kenya. Adan, who is contesting on DCP in Banisa, it's not from Mount Kenya, it's Mandera. When you look through the party structure, I went through, and even the numbers of those people from Mount Kenya, the tribal tag is not there. And I want to tell you, without missing my word, DCP is not a tribal party. But I don't know why that accusation is only to DCP. When you look at my former party, ODM,
right?
Who is the party leader? From Nyanza.
Raila, yes.
Who is the chairperson of ODM? Gladys Wanga. She's from Nyanza. So sometimes we brand people according to the way we want to look at it.
The narrative
is the narrative which we want to pass. But I can assure you, even other parties, look at even Wipe, our partner and sister party. The party leader is from Ukambani. Those other, even the treasurer, I know him personally. Is from Lower Eastern. Is from Ukambani. So when you want to selectively brand a party that it's a tribal party, I think you're missing a big
I think
one.
it's because of that aspect whereby people say that a party is as good as its leader.
Then that means all parties are tribal. You can't just pick DCP. Even UDA, who is the party leader? President William Ruto, right? Does that mean UDA is a Kalenjin party? He doesn't. So it's just a selective kind of picking, and now the reason why they are picking on DCP is the party which will form. I can assure you the next government.
Let's talk about the opposition then, because first of all, I'd like to know, sell yourself to the people of Banisa Kidogo. I hope they're listening. What do you expect, or what do you need, or what will you do for them if they actually do elect you?
I think the most important thing I will do for the people of Banisa is to put the Banisa on the map. Is to make sure the people of Banisa know, the people of Kenya knows where Banisa is. Because it's only when you know a place is when you will talk about development. For example, if I tell my listeners that 60 years down the line, the people of Banisa are depending on an earth pan which is situated at the center of the town. Imagine. Can you imagine that? They are depending on earth pan, a natural earth pan, which only depends on rain, and they're using that for their livelihood and for their livestock. And one thing which the previous members of parliament did not highlight is that even that water must be unfit for human consumption. Because it's the center of the town, all debts and affluents drive themselves there, and the kind of disease people get. I'm sure when samples of those water will be taken, I'm sure it will be declared unfit for consumption.
Yeah.
And we have no otherwise but to use that water. That's one of the most important things I want to push in parliament is access to clean water. Water is devolved, but we need that voice of reason in parliament where even can push for policies where even the national government can fit in. There are many agencies in Kenya, apart from the county government, who can do the water issue.
Right.
The people of Banisa depends on livestock. That's their livelihood. And one of the most important things which we need, development which is needed there, is the kind of abattoir. Because during drought, all animals die. But we don't have a situation where when there is rain, when the animals get, there's no abattoir in place. That's one of also the most important thing.
Really? In the entire constituency?
In the entire constituency. The second thing is probably youth. It's not many people talk about the youth in northern Kenya and especially Banisa. And sometimes in history people judge that the young people join these terror groups, Al-Shabaab and this thing, because they don't have anything to do. What we will do, and as member of parliament for Banisa, we want to organize those youth. And personally, as I'm a product of civil society.
Right.
In the year 2013, I won a young leadership competition in this country, and I was taken to 6 leadership institutes in 4 continents. I was in UK, taken to UK on a leadership experience, US, Switzerland, Japan, South Africa, and Tanzania. And my mentors are the likes of John Gidongo, Boniface Mwangi, who now is being spoken about, Tom Boya, and the guys. And I want to connect those young people to the civil societies of this country, and make sure that our young people are engaged. One of the most important cardinal things the Member of Parliament will do is we will make sure that we will organize these young people and help them access to credit so that they have livelihood. Of course, there are many border young people in Banisa constituency. The young people who are doing media things and social media and YouTubes are paying. And we want to connect those young people to all those programs. One other important cardinal thing is, in this world of digital era, if I can tell you, 5 kilometers outside Banisa, there is no network. In this day and age, where
in 2025,
you walk from Banisa town to a place called Lulis. Lulis is just, I think, 4 or 5 kilometers. Someone has to climb a tree to receive network and call Nairobi, even to receive an M-Pesa. So that's how dire the constituency is, and the previous members of parliament, and even the people who are contesting with me, I'm sure they will not be voicing that issues because they might shy away from it, or they don't want to speak about it, because most of the time someone gets elected, they come and get close to the government, they do business, and they keep quiet.
Mheshimiwa, some of those things you've mentioned, I feel like they won't really need you or anyone else to be an MP to achieve them. For example, that whole network issue.
Exactly.
That is something that even the people of Banisa can petition a company like Safaricom, Airtel, Telcom, or whoever to actually come and build those communication masts, or maybe as an MP, what is that special touch that might be included?
Exactly. One thing which we've not realized over time is the people have lacked that trust and in everything. Even the likes of Safaricom, and imagine the people could not even organize themselves to push for that petition. What we need right now is a voice of someone who can even bring that kind of sense into the young people and the constituents. So I will be that member of parliament who will be there with them and tell them that what they can do and what I can do as the member of parliament. There's some things, yes, the petition in the telecom and Safaricom can be done by an organized group of young people. But what we are lacking right now is even that kind of organization.
Yeah.
So what we will do right now is when we get elected, even if we don't get elected, we will bring those young people together so that they can voice, and I will play my role as a member of parliament to push their petitions to these people. For example, it will not take me an hour to walk to Safaricom as a member of parliament when I have a petition at hand.
Right.
And a petition can only come out when you sit with the young people and show them that they can even do that kind of petition. Even the literacy of not many corners of this country understands that you can organize yourselves and even petition the national government, petition the parliament, petition every other institution. So we will be that, I will be that bridge.
What I'm hearing from you is that you will have that political goodwill.
Yes.
And political capital to actually make things. Okay, I mean, it makes sense for sure. Yeah.
Well, so far, the delay of coming up with an IBC commission and even the chair has really affected many constituencies. Maybe to be specific for Banissa, how has it been?
Unfortunately, we've been without member of parliament for the last 3 years. Because our member of parliament, may God rest his peace, died few months after the election.
The elections, yes.
And it's been difficult for the people of Banissa because the cardinal and the most important role of a member of parliament is representation. When you don't have that representation in parliament, then unfortunately you are off the map of the country. So we've been off the map of Kenya for the last 3 years because any issue which arises, for example, many things happen. Insecurity happened, the people who died, and clan clashes. Most of the time, it's the governor who took that role and stepped up in. And at time, he got even tired and angry, and he said, "For how long will I be playing the role of an MP?" And the delay in forming the IBCs affected even many developers. For example, we are aware of, the work of member of parliament is to supervise government projects and to be that check. So there are many developments which we were told have happened in Banissa. For example, a road constructed from Banissa town to a place called Choroho. The people of Banissa are telling us that road have not been done. The reason why it has not been highlighted is probably the member of parliament who is supposed to be saying, why has that road not been done? It's not there. And I am compiling a list of projects which has been said to have been done from the 2023 to date. But most of those projects, I'm being told, has not been done. And someone just did their paperwork here in Nairobi and got the money. So when I hit the ground, I'm going to Banissa soon.
Yeah.
And we will be not even campaigning. I will be one to visit those projects, see if there is an earthpan which is supposed to be done at a particular place. Has it been done? If it has not been done, then we will make sure that those people responsible are brought to book. Those are the kind of gaps which lacking of member of parliament has happened. For example, for the last 3 or 2.5 years, the Constituent Development Fund has been ongoing. I'm sure in paper we've been told, and I have all those projects, that two classroom has been built in a particular place. We want to go find out
if indeed they have been constructed.
It has been done. Then, of course, member of parliament is a kind of patron. You will see, has it been done to satisfaction also? Sometimes people can do with since there are no many eye, they can do shoddy job.
Yeah.
So those are the kind of things which I want to make sure that we highlight over this period of time.
By the way, now that you've mentioned that, who's been managing the Banissa CDF? Had the MP before he passed on, had he selected a committee?
Yes, he selected a committee, and the CDF board sent a fund manager to Banissa. And that committee and the fund manager has been managing the CDF.
Okay.
That's what we've been told.
Yes.
I haven't had a chance to interact with them, but this is the time now, a good time to interact with the committee and whether they've done that work and done to satisfaction.
Because I thought maybe for the last 3 years that money has just been in an account somewhere, just piling up.
No, I can assure you.
Waiting for Aden.
I can assure you that money has not been in account.
Okay.
It's been used.
Yes.
And we will know whether it has gone to some people's pocket.
Okay.
And I will not shy away from saying whether the money has been.
Mali shida iko.
Lazima tuseme.
Speaking of which, Adan, now that, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much.
So that you can come back here and we can celebrate the victory. But the question I want to ask also is, currently Kenyans are very unhappy with their MPs. Are you sure you want to step into that fire? Because Kenyans are literally at war with Parliament. The gentleman who was here before you, the lawyer Willis Otieno, he was telling us that Kenyans actually, from what he has seen, they dissolved Parliament in last year's maandamano.
Yeah.
And then this year, it's like we don't even recognize them. What will you do for the people of Garissa? And also just for the sake of Kenyans to see Parliament differently. Right now, they are being accused of bribery by the president.
Yeah.
Again, do you want to step into that fire?
I'm already one foot
inside
the fire.
Yeah.
Even by choosing DCP, I've decided to go out of the comfort. And the reason why I'm choosing DCP is I want to highlight all these things we were saying right now. The Parliament right now, the Wakili has said it very, very clearly. The people of Kenya rose up without using a lot of money. They've shown us that if you want to organize yourself, you don't need a big budget. You don't need a tribal leader. You can organize yourself and bring anything down. That's the lesson, and I'm sure everyone has learned over the period of time. I will step into that fire and be a lone voice for this country. Some of us are privileged to have been trained on leadership and